My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And oh man, do we have a lot to talk about today. Things are getting good. Things are going very well for the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. Just lots of great news yesterday. Trump completely cleared in all these trumped up cases and charges from Jack Smith, which is just absolutely amazing. Doesn't get better than this. Things are going. Not only is the lawfare over, these criminals like Jack Smith and Merrick Garland and Fannie Willis and Letitia James, they're in big trouble. They have been breaking the law. These coordinated prosecutions they've been doing are illegal. That's not something you are able to do. So we got a lot to cover. This is just great stuff. It doesn't get better than this. The Trump miracle continues. No doubt. Welcome. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. Hey everyone, welcome. I'm just getting set up. We'll be on the radio in about 20 minutes. I know it's exciting. These are exciting times, people. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Trump beat them all. Believe me, the lawfare criminals are in a panic right now. They should be. What they've done is very criminal. Good morning. Okay, I'll try it again. Having problems. Yeah, I'm just wearing this to piss off Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. Got both the Millennium Falcon on here somewhere and the X-Wing, that's Red 5. Harrison Ford has lost his mind, as has Mark Hamill. Oh, it's going to be a great day. What a great week. Usually, Thanksgiving week is a slow time. This one is not slow. Oh yeah, we've only gotten started. I mean, we got a long way to go. We got 4 years of greatness coming. We've only just begun. I will never get tired of winning. Will you? No way. Never. That's the only thing I'll disagree with Trump on. He says, you'll get tired of winning. Not me. Republicans don't get to win too much. Before Trump, we weren't winning too much. We had, Mitch McConnell and all these snakes running the party. So, it's nice to be winning. For a change. There's so much to cover today. Okay, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Test. Okay. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Let me try.
I want to make it clear right now that alcohol is not a sanctuary city. We're going to do everything we can.
All right. Great. All right. We are good to go and ready to broadcast. My cat was sleeping on my MacBook case. Look at this, all this cat hair. Pepsi and Coca-Cola sleeping on my case. Good MAGA morning, absolutely. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I got a lot to talk about today. I mean, the things that are going on are absolutely nuts. Maybe this doesn't have the Falcon on it. I see the Y-wing, the X-wing. Yep, no, here's the Falcon. Okay. Good. Just a little screw you to Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. There's Red 5. These never Trumpers. I'd like to know how much Kamala paid Harrison Ford to make that absurd video that changed no one's mind. Kamala basically, her campaign was laundering money. I'm going to get into that later. This is amazing. She's in big trouble. Oh, yes. $1 billion went very fast. Yeah, it was like Brewster's Millions. But with $1 billion. And there's a lot of Democrats that are plenty ticked off about that. As they should be. Boy, oh boy. Hey, Australia, welcome. Got so much going on here. Hold on. Just getting organized. I have so many MAGA hats. I should wear some different ones. I have so many. I have a lot of the regular red ones that just say "Make America Great Again," but I have so many. How do you deal with brainwashed kids? You know, my daughter moved to California. She voted for Trump, even though she's living out in California. I have a black one. I have a dark MAGA. And I also have a black one that has white writing, but I've also got the dark MAGA version. Hold on, I'll be right back. I turn the air down. It's really hot in here. You know, the reason I wear the red one all the time is when we were in campaign season, it was a campaign ad. I wanted people to see me a mile down the street that I got a MAGA hat on. If I wear this one, you know it's a MAGA hat up close, but from far away you don't necessarily know. So if I'm walking somewhere and I'm out and about, I want people to see a mile away, "Make America Great Again." I want them to know how many MAGA people there are, that they're not alone, and vote Trump. But now that we've won, I can wear some of my other ones. One that I really like, I've only worn it a couple times, is my gold MAGA hat that the Trump campaign sent me. Oh, I've got so many hats, MAGA hats, a lot. Of course, my favorite one is the special autographed MAGA hat that's cost over $40,000 to get, that I have in the safe deposit box at the bank. A cease and desist letter means nothing. It's just a threat. I did not get the Trump shoes. But the Trump hat that I have autographed is much more rare than the Trump shoes. Much more rare. You know, the way, you know, when my daughter, you know, how I got my daughter to be, you know, understand about conservatism, when she was really little, when she was like 5, 6, 7-ish, maybe somewhere between like 6 and 9. I don't remember how old she was exactly. We bought new windows for the house, right? And I got them at, I can't remember if it was Lowe's or Home Depot. One or the other, Lowe's or Home Depot, probably Lowe's. And I went to Lowe's and I bought the windows and I had to buy, you know, they installed them, you know, they people, they installed them. I didn't install the windows, they're hurricane windows. And if you go on my Instagram and you scroll through, you can see my very rare exclusive autographed MAGA hat. Very few like it. Only big donors that donate 42,000 minimum get that hat. So it's very rare. And those people are so rich, they wear them. So mine's in mint condition. But I remember I took her to Lowe's, and at the time we had 6% sales tax in Florida here. It's higher now. They've raised it. The local counties have raised it, jerks. And I was explaining to her that every time you buy something, you have to pay the government to buy it. So, you know, so bought $100 worth of stuff. I said, you know, for every $100 you spend, you've got to pay the government $6 to buy it. And she says, it's like we're slaves for the government. I said, exactly. No, I did not.
Morning.
How's it going?
Good,
All right. Set on multi-track.
Hey, why is it? Oh, maybe that's why I moved. I see what I did. Yeah, but I was clicking it from I don't know why I was thinking that. Top, if that makes sense.
All right. So whoever bit my headphones didn't use them again.
Didn't use them?
Did not. No.
I mean,
I was able to bend them back, but
I did tell Mike.
I didn't want to be a jerk about it.
No, I didn't make it. I mean, I was hoping I made it sound like a jerk. I was just letting him know that someone was using stuff over the weekend, and he like kind of looked like he's like, well, he goes, was Alan Knight knows Brian? He goes, I don't know.
It wasn't Al.
That's what he's
They
like.
were on there.
He's like, I don't think Alan would be using Brian's. I'm like, I don't know either, but I was like, what happened over the weekend? And he's like, if anything, he goes.
I didn't mind that it's just that they had bent them. That's what pissed me off.
That's what no, it's like, cause I was like, I told him, I was like, remember the other headphones that we had? I was like, those were broken, cause I showed him when
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, just throw it away. But
Someone's got a big head.
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, I'm someone who also has a big head, but I'm not your older than me.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, so I was telling him, and Mike's like, alright, he goes, maybe he's like, try to put them somewhere safe if
Yeah.
you need to, blah blah. So on Friday, I like put them in the corner and
Oh, okay.
back as far as I could.
Oh, I appreciate
So
it.
I was like, okay, but Mike's like, he'll also keep an eye out
Mhm.
to make sure no one's just
there's somebody that breaks all the headphones, and I don't think it's that they have a big head. A lot of people, they want to put their headphones like this, and I wear them like this too sometimes if I'm like answering the phone or something, but they stretch them and they break the right headphone all the time. A lockbox, don't need it. There's no sticky fingers here, and it's just this is the only radio station that I've worked at where people don't steal. The only one. Every other radio station I've ever worked at, people steal stuff all the freaking time. Oh, about the autographed hat, I made if you go to my YouTube video about when I went to Mar-a-Lago, I talk about how I got the hat. I'm not going to go through all that again, but I did not pay for the hat. I did not donate money. But if you're new, make sure you subscribe. We'll be on the air in just a couple minutes. I don't know if I'm going to come do the radio show Thursday and Friday, but if I don't, I will do live streams on YouTube. So even if I'm not on the radio live, I'll be on YouTube live. Exactly, Christy. I don't mind if people use stuff, but there's a rule in radio. There's a couple rules. One, you leave the studio the way you found it. So when the show's over, I clean up all my crap. I put everything away in the studio. I leave the studio like it was when I walked in the door. Because I got a lot of stuff here. I've got my cameras that are here that are being held up by camera holders. I've got a ring light above my head. I've got a computer here that's hooked up to the board with all kinds of stuff. You know, I got a lot of stuff here. So you put everything away. But the thing that pissed me off was that they bent the headphones. They bent them. I was able to bend them back. And they'd already broken 2 sets of headphones. So, you know, and these are not inexpensive headphones, and a nice listener sent them to me. All right, let me start the other stream. Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you're new, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And man, oh man, do we got a lot to talk about today. This is a big day. There's so much to talk about. I mean, you know, all these charges dropped against Trump by Jack Smith. We're going to talk about that. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You know, Trump's pronouncements about the import taxes with Canada, nicely threw Canada in there, Mexico, and China. That's pretty amazing that he's did that. All you know, when Trump talks about the import taxes, it cracks me up. All of a sudden, the Democrats are in favor of lower taxes and tell you how bad higher taxes are. They want lower taxes on these countries around the world, but they want to raise taxes on Americans. They're just scum. They're just scum. Nothing good comes from Democrats. Nothing. If you can think of something, let me know. And of course, we are taking calls live. on the air. Put the number in the... Now, like I said earlier, if I'm not on the radio live Thursday and Friday, I will be live streaming on YouTube. But just live streaming on YouTube is kind of like a day off for me because I don't have to go through everything I got to go through to get to the radio station in the morning to be on the radio, which is pretty involved, and then go home after a long drive home. I'm definitely not going to be on the radio Thursday, Friday, I don't know. My wife wants me to take the whole weekend off. She says I need a break, which I do. I'm pretty wiped out. The election was exhausting. The last few months have been so busy. Welcome, everyone. We'll be live on the air in just a couple minutes. Here we go. Less than a couple seconds soon. With Brian Craig. All right, it sure is. Welcome, everyone. It is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 47 years on the radio. Soon to be 48. I imagine the production people are putting together the new drop-ins and hourly opens for the 48th year. What are we going to do for the 50th? Oh, my goodness, 50 years. All right, we got a lot to cover today. And, you know, this is really... since Trump came down the escalator, the media business is a lot different. During this week moving forward to January 1st, historically is a time that there is just no news to talk about. And a lot of people that do shows like this, they take their vacations this month, next month. Some of them take whole months off. And it usually is a difficult time. And, you know, I was talking to somebody at the radio station yesterday. They say, you going to be here Thursday, Friday? And, you know, and I said, you know, Thursday's a tough day. There's like, oh, no calls. It's not the calls. You know, I could go 6 hours without a call. I got plenty to talk about. But the news is historically slow during holiday weeks. In fact, when I left yesterday, the radio station, I was on I-95. It was a lot less traffic. A lot of people have the whole week off. But when Trump is in the picture, it's big time news. There's never a slow news period when Trump's in the picture. It's nonstop news, even on holidays, even in times where historically there's less than zero news. And we've gotten a lot of news just since I left you yesterday. And I'll start with Jack Smith and Judge Chunkin. They dropped all the charges against Trump. These are all the federal government cases against Trump are now gone. They're now history. His Story. I remember Michael Jackson, the His Story album, the history. You know, that's it. They're done. And, you know, I like how this is the media, Judge Chunkin and Merrick Garland and Jack Smith and all these lawfare criminals. They're like, okay, it's over. You know, there's a long-standing policy of not prosecuting sitting president. And they want to act like it's all done. Oh, yeah, he's president now. You know, we don't prosecute. I'm sorry. That's not going to fly. The only cases that are left are these criminals in Fulton County and in New York. And where the hell is Kemp in Georgia? Don't trust Kemp. Kemp runs around pretending to be friends with Trump. Don't trust that guy. He thinks he's going to run for president next time around, and maybe he will run, but he ain't going to be the president, I'll tell you that. Kemp should remove Fani Willis and pardon not just Trump, but everyone that was arrested with Trump, even the ones that made deals like Sidney Powell and the others. Pardon all of them. But he won't, because he's a never-Trumper, regardless of what he says, Kemp. But Just because you dismissed the charges, Judge Chunkin and Jack Smith, doesn't mean you didn't do crime. All right? I'm sorry. Does not mean you didn't do crime. And I imagine there's major panic going on with some of these local people. Now, Fannie Willis is not in a panic mode. She's a spoiled little rich girl whose Black Panther daddy lawyer has given her everything she's always wanted, okay? So she doesn't understand what kind of trouble she is in. And all these people that are talking about, they must be shredding all these documents in D.C. and the Justice Department. This isn't the 80s, man. Shredding doesn't work. Everything is done electronically now. And this isn't like Hillary Clinton destroying her own personal cell phones and the server in her house. These records are electronic, and they're in the Justice Department federal government servers, and they're archived. There's no shredding what they've done. And when Attorney General Pam Bondi comes in and she starts going through this, these people, some of them are going to go to prison. They're going to go to prison. There's no doubt that there was collusion, which is illegal, between these different prosecutors and the Justice Department. Most definitely, we have evidence of it with Fannie Willis, whose boy toy gigolo boyfriend met more than once with Biden's lawyers at the White House over all this stuff. So this idea that, okay, it's no. This is just the end of the beginning. And these people need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I'm not talking about just Jack Smith and Merrick Garland and the creeps around them, and people in this White House, including the White House counsel, who was involved in this. Because the White House counsel for Joe Biden met with Fannie Willis's gigolo boyfriend. We know this, right? But Letitia James, too. Have you seen her lately? She's gained a ton of weight. And she's not smiling there, sitting in the courtroom thinking she's Rosa Parks looking at the president trying to get some historical photograph taken. By the way, my question for Letitia is, how are you a millionaire many times over when you don't come from wealth, you're not married, you don't have a rich husband, you don't have a rich ex-husband, and you've worked for the government your whole life? How does someone become a multimillionaire like that, Letitia James? Could you tell me? Now, I'm not accusing you of anything, but I'd like to know how you did it so I can replicate it. I'm not going to replicate it if it involves taking bribes, but I'm curious. Could you share your secret to becoming a millionairess working for legal aid in the city of New York, please? She's as big as a house. Because she's worried, and she should be worried. You know, all these lawfare people, they were doing all of this, conspiring. There's records all over the place in the cloud and the computer systems. They thought Trump was going to be in prison, or they would intimidate him to dropping out. They didn't realize that it never occurred to them that Trump would beat these raps and win the presidency, and win the popular vote, and win all the swing states, and win and flip a whole bunch of counties in California and New York and all this stuff. He's got a mandate, and they're panicked. The way that they're operating right now, Deep State, Justice Department, Letitia, Fannie's people, all these criminals in the lawfare, you know what it's like? I'll tell you exactly what it's like. It's like the last days in Berlin when the Russian army's coming in, and the Nazis are in Berlin, Hitler's in the bunker, and they're burning all the documents trying to save their butts so nobody finds out about the Holocaust. That's what's going on now. And you know what? You know who gets the deal, Letitia? Fannie? Your gigolo boyfriend? Jackson? You know who gets the deal? The first one to squeal gets the deal. Right? The first one that talks gets the deal. So if I were these people, I'd be trying to get Pam Bondi on the phone. Wouldn't you? Oh, yeah. All right, now we're going to take our first break. We've got so much to cover. My name is Brian Craig. We are here live. It is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Good. Stay.
All right. Hey, guys. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yep.
LED touchscreen patch and contact backup battery and service plan. Plus, if you're one of the first 20 True Oldies listeners to call 833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with installation of your Sloman Shield. Keep your family safe. 833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
Hi, I'm Susan.
We'll be back shortly, guys.
But a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need help today? Yes.
Hey, New Zealand. Welcome.
Zero down financing? Yes, all year.
Thank you, Janelle.
We're
Thank
South
you.
Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving years.
If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I am like 1,000 subscribers away.
833 all
I think. Well, let me check. I haven't checked. Let me look. Before I say it, let me check.
Your estate plan done properly. I'm attorney Larry Siegel with the Siegel Law Group. Come join us at our upcoming
Yeah, 1,000 subscribers away
many of the topics that are on your
from.
How do I make sure I avoid probate?
Well, no, I am.
Avoid guardianship? How do I make sure that I don't spend down
Yeah,
my assets?
1,100 away from 90,000.
What is a power of attorney?
1,100 subscribers away from 90,000 subscribers. So if you're new, subscribe, guys. Oh my goodness.
Join us at our upcoming
1,100 away from 90,000. Oh my goodness.
to help you learn what you need to do
Awesome.
to protect yourself and your family and gain peace of mind. But by coming, you are also entitled to a discount certificate that can reduce the cost of protecting your family and your loved ones as well. Come join us. Look forward to seeing you.
The next workshop with Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group is Tuesday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Siegel Law Group's main office in Boca. To reserve your spot, call toll-free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort
All the federal
Lauderdale
charges are dropped.
96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world.
All right, we are back 18 minutes after the hour. The Christmas extravaganza continues at MyPillow.com. This is the place to do your Christmas shopping. If you have a lot of people to buy for, MyPillow is the place to do it. You can save up to 80% off some of the most popular MyPillow products with our promo code KANE at checkout, of course, and free shipping on orders over $75. If you've got a lot of people to buy for in your family, you can really load up at MyPillow.com. If you're an employer and you are looking to buy gifts for your employees, this is the place to do it. And there's huge Huge deals on the My Slippers, the sheets, both regular and flannel, the towels, the pillows, everything site-wide. Huge deals with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. You can also order by phone toll-free, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane at checkout. Okay, so Donald Trump, he has threatened, well, I don't know, threatened, he doesn't threaten, he just told them. He told Mexico, Canada, and China that if they don't cut off the flow of drugs and illegals coming into America, that he's going to bring a big import tax against them. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. These countries need us much more than we need them, because why? We buy all their crap. They don't buy too much from us. They have their taxes are too high. And, you know, this is what really blows my mind with Democrats. The Democrats, when it comes to raising taxes on foreigners, all of a sudden they talk about how high taxes are bad for the economy and cause prices to rise and all this stuff. But when it comes to raising the taxes on the American people, I've never heard them talk that way. Got news for you. You Democrats that are whining about your reparations, oh, you know, Plymouth Rock landed on us and Jasmine Cross, we didn't choose to be born here and all this stuff. At the southern border of the United States, the Democrats are running a slave passage, slave trafficking operation larger in number than the West African slave trade during the colonial period of North America. We've all seen that video of that 2-year-old little girl with the Post-it note with the phone number for her mom and dad. What the hell? 2 years old. She said she's dose. She put 2 fingers up, dose. 2 years old. That's a toddler wandering around. What if that little girl lost the Post-it note? And on that story, I was watching it on Outnumbered on Fox yesterday. And they showed more of that video than I've seen anywhere else. After the interview with the toddler, the 2-year-old little girl, by herself, now they blurred everyone's face out, but then they started talking to everybody else that was in line with the little girl. Did you see this? They were all girls, and almost all of them were 16 and 17. They said, how old are you and where are you going? New York, Florida, California. How old are you? 16, 17. They're all 16 or 17. By themselves. What is that? Sex trafficking. Sex trafficking. Those girls were being brought here to be prostitutes by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And it's not just sex slavery. It's every kind of slavery you can imagine that you and you even hear Democrats, well, who's going to cut your grass? Who's going to mow your lawn? I got a guy that does my yard work. He's an American. He only hires Americans. And I pay him more. I pay him more than he's asked me to pay him. In fact, I've given him raises without him even asking because I feel bad because all the other lawn crews in the neighborhood are illegals. So they charge less. It is a slave trade. All of you people that are obsessed with reparations, which you're never going to get, the biggest benefactor of slavery in the United States are African Americans because you're here because of it. I'd still be here. You wouldn't. Probably. So I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, man. And I'll tell you something. It really, truly is. I've been talking about this slave passage the Democrats have had going on down there for almost 4 years. And I just started this week to hear other people refer to it as that. A slave passage. What else is it? You know, I was talking to a caller yesterday. These people are paying thousands of dollars each to the coyotes to get here, right? The cartels. You hear different amounts. Sometimes it's 5,000. Sometimes it's 3,000. Sometimes it's 20 or 30,000. Where is this 17-year-old girl by herself getting $5,000 or more? Who's paying for that? I think it's the U.S. government. I think they've been funneling money and paying the cartels. I do believe that. It's too much money. But how can you be focused on slavery the Democrat slavery that was abolished 160 years ago, but the slave trade that's going on right now as I am speaking to you, also brought to you by the Democrat Party, you totally ignore and want to have more of it. AOC is even out there advocating for it again. Never heard of such a thing. They don't even understand what it is they're supporting. This is insane. And I hope that 2-year-old little girl that the news is able to follow what happened to that 2-year-old little girl. She was clean. She was well dressed. She could speak. And she had a Post-it note with a cell phone number that she said was her mommy and daddy somewhere in America. It's crazy. 2 years old. Any of you ever have a 2-year-old kid yourself? 2-year-olds are barely coherent. These Democrats are sick. So this is the AP. President-elect President Trump threatened on Monday to impose sweeping new tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China as soon as he takes office as part of his effort to crack down on illegal immigration and drugs. Trump said he would impose a 25% tax on all products entering the country from Canada and Mexico and a 10% tariff on goods from China. That's right. Don't you understand this is an act of war? Mexico's always been a problem. Mexico's got this thing that Texas and California, all those states are theirs. Let me tell you something. If you took California, if Mexico would have kept California, it would be a third world pit of hell, just like the rest of Mexico, all right? There's just something about that culture down there that's corrupt. But make no mistake about it, the Democrats have a slave trade going on. That's why there's all these 16 and 17-year-old girls with that 2-year-old girl, a whole line of them as far as the eye can see, by themselves. And it's also labor slavery. And you hear these Democrats, well, you think Americans are going to do these jobs? Yeah! Rush used to have this phrase, he said, jobs Americans used to not want to do. Remember that? Used to talk about that? Yes, there are Americans who would do those jobs. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh man. Welcome everyone. If you are new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe.
Right, 99%. You don't think so maybe it's time to face the competition. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit cards. That's traffic, I'm Billy Holmes.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Give thanks. The poker room at PBKC is open every day with exciting
A lot of those jobs they're talking about, like as an example, well, I'll wait till we get back. I'll wait till we get back to share my thoughts. Oh, I'll get to Ukraine, don't worry. This hat isn't new. I just haven't worn it. Maybe this may be the second time I've worn it. I've had it a while. I've got so many hats. Trump hats. Most of them are the red ones, because those are my favorites, but I have some that are not. I have this really cool Let's Go Brandon hat. Maybe I'll wear that tomorrow. It's a big hat. I'll show you. It's a big one. If I'm wearing it, it might hit the microphone. It's kind of, I don't know what you call a hat, but it's one of those hats you would wear if you're like working in a field. Someone sent me. The hat's a good one. People send them to me. Listeners send me hats all the time. I have only bought a couple of them, and some of them, my gold MAGA hat was given to me by the Trump campaign. I guess was recognition of my good work. My autographed hat was, from the Trump, from Mar-a-Lago. But I've bought a couple of them, but most of them, people send me hats here at the radio station all the time.
Back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years on the air.
All righty, 32 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's Tuesday, November 26th. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, there you go. Now you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine, Brian.
Hey, Jeff, what's up?
Hey, you're right. Remember, wasn't long into Trump's first term, he says, these people are sick. And you said that right when I was thinking that. These people are twisted and sick. We're not even fighting flesh and blood. We're fighting principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And I think Trump is going to make a great big huge dent in human trafficking. But the child sex trafficking is about the lowest you can go. And I have to really control myself because it's very disturbing to see what level it's happening.
I mean, this line of 16 and 17-year-old girls that I saw interviewed yesterday, there were like 50 of them in line by themselves. 16, 17-year-old girls. What are they coming here for? Who's bringing them here?
Yeah. And they have a way. They do have a way to track these people and make sure they go to safe places. But they're giving them a blank slate, sending them off with no one to watch them and to care for them. So, the worst is happening right under our eyes. And we got to remember, we're in the last days, but we got to keep up the fight. And the best way is the prayer and have people like Donald Trump and his cabinet take over again. Mm-hmm. God back where he deserves to be.
Absolutely.
So this show right here helps us together to unify our country. We are a bunch of unifiers, but not dividers. We want good to prevail. And I thank God for you and Steve and everybody in this room, this chat room. We are going to make a difference.
That's right.
You pray that we can make America great again.
I'm gonna agree with everything you said, except one thing, that we're in the last days. I don't think we are at all. I think we're in the beginning of a bunch of new days and a new era. You know, I don't remember Trump says it's America's golden age. I know you talk biblically, but no, I don't believe we're in the final last days now.
Do you think we're about to come into an awakening and or revival, that people's eyes are going to be open?
Well, there's an American revival going on, and you know, when Trump puts on that big year-long fair for our 250th anniversary, which I'm going to go to, in Iowa, is where he's hoping to do it, but it may be somewhere else. I mean, yeah, there's a resurgence of Americanism, like we had during the bicentennial in 1976.
Or the end of World War II, when America had gained great prosperity for fighting for truth and fighting against evil. That generation, I'm a baby boomer, and those people got very soft because of, you know, the World War II vets and their kids. They didn't want to ever see war again. You know, that was so horrific.
Yeah,
war,
and until they brought us the Korean War and then the Vietnam War, you know.
Yep. And like you've always said, Brian, the Democrats are always looking to start wars. There's a reason behind it.
Yeah, that's right.
The human sex trafficking. It's drugs and military power and might and ammo and weaponry. It's a money-making machine.
It sure is. All right, Jeff, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Yeah, it made some good points. You know, I was just remembering this. Some of you that are old-time listeners may remember, you know, Steve and I, we used to do, on Thanksgiving, we used to do, sometimes it would depend on if we were on the air that Thanksgiving. Sometimes we would do it the Wednesday before, but if we were on the air on Thanksgiving, we would often do this on Thanksgiving. Some of you may remember this. We used to, we connected with farmers in our community, and we would have a farmer bring us a live turkey into the radio studio. And then we would do a thing. It would be the trial of the turkey, and we would let the callers would call in and decide whether or not we would give the live turkey to a cruelty-free farm where they never kill it. It gets to roam free for the rest of its natural life, or if we have the farmer kill the turkey and clean it, and Steve and his family would eat it for Thanksgiving. Any of you guys remember we were doing that? It was crazy. We used to do that. And have you ever seen we stopped doing it because of me, because the last time we did it, it was we did it pretty much every year, and the farmer, I'd get to the studio. He was always at the radio station before me, and he'd have the turkey, sometimes in the parking lot, but usually in the studio. Have you ever seen a fully grown live turkey standing up and walking around? They are huge. I couldn't believe how big they were. And then the last time we did it, it was a different farmer every time. The last time we did it, the farmer was late. And he got to the radio studio. This is when we were in Coral Springs, at our studio in Coral Springs. And I saw the condition of the turkey when the farmer arrived. And I just never brought it up again, and Steve never pushed, so we never did it again. The turkey, and this really upset me. It was really brutal. You know, this was a long time ago. We weren't live streaming on YouTube and stuff then. If we were, you would have been horrified if I could have shown this to you. And it was so upsetting. I didn't even take a picture of it. But the farmer came late, and he brought the turkey, and it was in a crate. In a tiny crate, and it was alive, but it was all scrunched up in this little crate, forced to lay down. It had no room to move. It was so cruel that I just could never do it again. I couldn't believe how they treated the turkey. And a lot of people would say, well, why do you care about treating them nice? They're going to kill it anyway. Well, you can treat it nice before they, eat it. I'm not a big turkey fan anyway for Thanksgiving. I mean, I'll eat a little turkey, but I like ham and things like that better. And we were going to do it, and then after that, we did talk about it next year, let's do it with a pig. And the pigs are a little more of a pain in the butt to bring into the studio. But I couldn't. Have you ever seen them? They put them in a tiny little case. But when a turkey, like you buy at the supermarket, when it is alive and walking around, it is a humongous bird. Most people probably haven't seen a full-grown, plump turkey. But, Oh, and the audience always, the jury of the audience always was in favor of the turkey living. So Steve never ate the turkeys. They always went, I don't know, somebody probably did at some point. Who knows if they really took them to the cruelty-free farm. I don't know. But when I saw the treatment of the turkeys, it'll put a bad taste in your mouth for turkeys. And I know that that everything we eat is killed and everything else, but those were fun shows, though. Some of the callers would get a little twisted about it. All right, but we're not doing that this year. I promise you're not going to do that again. The pig one, and then somebody else, who was it that stole our thing? Was it Castronova? Somebody on one of the other radio stations tried to do what we did, but it was very, what we did, it sounds crazy. It was very dramatic because some of the callers would call in and they would be so emotionally upset at the thought that the turkey was, and you could hear it in the background because we'd have the guest mics on. You could hear the turkey making turkey noises on the air and everything. Some callers would get very emotional at the thought that turkey was going to end up on Steve's Thanksgiving Day dinner table. But it was dramatic, no doubt about it. But we're not going to do that this year. I'd forgotten about that, and when I was driving in this morning, I don't know, just the memory popped in my mind of doing those. But those were crazy, crazy shows. All right, so getting back to the news of the day. About everything that's going on at the border. In Ukraine, these are just, the people that are running Ukraine are the worst leaders. The top NATO chief is urging leaders in Europe to get ready for a wartime scenario. So here, there's a new leader of NATO coming. His name is Donald John Trump. And he's sending a real cool guy to be our ambassador in NATO, Whitaker, and things are going to get taken care of. This is insanity. The whole purpose of NATO is to stop a war from happening. Jeff just called. After World War II, they didn't want another war. He said they didn't want another war after World War II. The Korean War had some of the same people got recalled in the draft that survived World War II to go fight in Korea. And if you remember, you guys remember MASH, the TV show MASH? It was a big deal, MASH. That last episode, remember the last episode of MASH? It had more people watching it, like 150 million Americans watched the last episode of MASH live. Remember that? It was insane how many people watched it. And, of course, it took place during the Korean War. And in the last scene in MASH, well, not the last scene, but towards the end, they have a radio on, and there's a news report of U.S. advisors being sent to Vietnam. And then I don't remember which one of the actors, probably Alan Alda, said, "Where's Vietnam?" Somebody said, "Where's Vietnam? Where's that at?" And it was a real statement that they're ending one war, but they're starting a new one at the same time. And that's what they're trying to do here. NATO is supposed to stop war from in Europe. Okay? Not encourage it. And they want a war so bad because they steal all the money too. In Trump's first term, when he went over there and met with the NATO leaders, President Trump, I've never seen him like this before. He was pissed off. Remember, he was pissed off. He was giving his speech. All the leaders of all the NATO nations were there. He reprimanded them live during his speech, and he was pissed off at the building. they had spent American money, of course, like $1 billion or more to build the new NATO headquarters. And Trump said they built the NATO headquarters out of glass. Remember this? When you're building your military headquarters, you don't build it out of glass. You could knock it, you could break it with rocks. How's it going to go up against tanks? It's a money grab, a big money grab. And these NATO nations, I don't think we should leave NATO. We should just assert our control over it big time. The purpose of NATO is very specific, to prevent a war with Russia. It used to be the Soviet Union. And maybe they've always been this way, won another war. I don't know what happened in Bosnia. Was NATO responsible for that? Did they want that to happen too? Probably. I don't know. But NATO is openly and out of the closet trying to cause a war with Russia. And not just a minor war. They're talking about a major war and a nuclear war, and you can tell they're so excited for it to happen because they're all going to get rich off of it. And I feel like the NATO nations are jealous of Zelensky and his henchmen. They want in on the action. They're jealous that Zelensky and his henchmen are making all that money, and they're not. Oh, I'm sure they're making money, but they want to make more. Trump saving us in the way he did is beyond measure of what this country was facing. There was going to be a major war with Russia if Kamala Harris won. It's not going to happen because Trump's not going to let it happen. Putin doesn't want war. Think about this. Putin doesn't want war. NATO wants war because they want to steal the money. All right. Our number is 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. If you're calling around with little phone problems we're working on, we'll get to that. We'll take care of that in a minute. My name is Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard,
Yeah, everything went out? No, see, hopefully it comes back. Usually it comes back by now. It's trying to connect, but it can't. It tells you connect. Oh, there it goes. Just came back. If you're new to my channel, guys, make sure you subscribe, all right? We are 1,100 subscribers away from 90,000. Yeah, yes, please. If you're already subscribed, hit the like button for sure.
I want you to give local expert Joe Thomas a call. Here's the number, 561-743-0999. Or, even simpler, you can go to JupiterJoe.com. Mention my name, John Tesh. You'll receive a free copy of Joe's book, Retirement Know-It-All. Great book. Call 561-743-0999. Or, remember, go to JupiterJoe.com. That's JupiterJoe.com.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did.
Yeah, those turkey shows were crazy. Those were Steve's idea, not mine.
Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Do you have questions about retirement? Hi, it's Kathy Green, co-host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Tune in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 7:30 a.m. to the Jupiter Joe Money Show. We answer all kinds of questions about retirement right here on your True Oldies channel.
Women's professional soccer is here.
Looking for a
Fort Lauderdale United FC. This Sunday, December 1st at 7:30 p.m. Fort Lauderdale United FC takes on Dallas Trinity FC at Beyond Bankcard Field at NSU. Exciting action, great vibes, and memories for the whole family with Fort Lauderdale United FC soccer.
Get your tickets now at FTLUTD.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on.
All righty, we are back 49 minutes after the hour. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Rod, Coconut Creek.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, listen, I've got to disagree with you just a tad on the NATO. I don't think that the NATO leaders want a war. They just
Of course.
build up to the military. But listen, one thing, I think the NATO, which is basically Europe, needs to shift their leadership and their influence from Germany and France and send it over to Poland and some of those eastern countries. They know about the Russians. They know
Yeah.
very well, and there's not one former Soviet country that's going to ever ally with them.
Well, I don't know about any former Soviet country because Ukraine used to be part of the Soviet Union, and look at them. But, England...
With Russia?
No, they want war. They want war in Europe because there's money in war, and they think, these lunatics that always want war always think that they can control it. Oh, it'll just be a minor thing, You have a bunch of Liz Cheneys running Europe.
No, you got even worse than that.
Well, you know what I mean. You have warmongers is what you have in Europe.
Yeah, some of them. But anyway, the Eastern Europeans should have a lot more influence. They know the Russians. Russia invaded Ukraine for no reason other than a property grab.
I don't know. Listen, Ukraine used to be one of the Soviet republics. This is a civil war. Putin has the same attitude towards Ukraine that Abraham Lincoln had to the Confederate States. You can't leave the Union. It's none of our business.
Have a good day.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it. Okay, he thinks I'm nuts. Okay, good day. That's what's going. This is a civil war going on. I'm not in favor of it. I'm not against war, but it's just none of our business. Lincoln said the southern states couldn't leave the Union, fought a war over it. That's what Putin's saying with Ukraine. It's very similar. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is John from Miami. I stumbled across your show on YouTube, man.
Welcome.
Thank you. Wasn't there a time when Russia wanted to join NATO and George W. Bush was actually open to the idea, and then the industrial military complex on our soil said, no.
Yeah, it even goes back, if you go back and watch Tucker Carlson's interview with Putin, Clinton was ready to allow Russia to join NATO, and he told Putin, okay, and then they came back an hour later and says no. So yeah, they wanted Russia to always be an enemy for the military-industrial complex donors to have this fake enemy.
Because we need a boogeyman. If there's no boogeyman, then we don't need it. I want a strong military ready to kick butt, just not so quick to be world cops. Why is that such an out-of-the-box thought?
Well, how can you have a strong military when you have colonels that are guys wearing dresses?
We're saying them, and eventually we're going to be a was-were.
Mm-hmm. All right, I like that. Did you make that up just now, or did you hear that somewhere?
It was that the one that went homicidal.
Oh, in Nashville? Yeah. What was it? What was that line again? What was that line again? It was, no. Your little thing. We'll soon be a was, were. What was the?
Yeah, we are they, them, soon to be a was, were.
We're a they, them, soon to be a was, were. I like that. Thank you for that call. That's a great one. We're a they, them, who soon will be a was, were. Well, that's what would have happened if Kamala would have won. All these wars are, I was talking yesterday about the Robert Kennedy assassination because he was going to pull out of Vietnam. Most all these wars could be avoided. All of them. including the war with Japan and the Second World War. There's no doubt in my mind Roosevelt knew and wanted that to happen. Now, I want to tell you guys about Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You know, Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment has rid me of pain 5 times. The first time was my knee pain, and he treated me for that. I guess it was about 2.5 years ago, and 2 treatments, and my knee pain was gone. I have suffered from that knee pain since I was about 20 years old. And it was bad. It was bad knee pain. And I just thought it was the rest of my life. I don't know why I developed it when I was so young. I don't know. But I always had, it was my right knee, always had massive knee pain, especially during the rainy season and the winter months. And it was just god-awful. And I thought it was just hopeless. But Dr. Appleton treated me with the laser away pain treatment twice. The pain gone and it has not returned. And he's done it 5 other times since then. Total of 6. Dr. Appleton's laser away pain treatment repairs the damage that's causing you the pain. It is 100% painless. There's no drugs, no medications, no shots, no injections. Oh, and the best part is it works. Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself. And I don't know how many thousands of patients he's seen over the years, but he has a skill set that's absolutely amazing. He is able to determine exactly where the pain is coming from. You know, these 6 times that I saw Dr. Appleton, he's examined me. The last time is when I realized what he was doing, and it just blew my mind. It was my left shoulder. Not only was my shoulder hurting, my entire arm and hand, I was in massive pain. He gave me an examination, and he says, right here's where the pain's coming from. I don't know how he knew. He's the doctor. And he treated that spot with the laser away pain treatment, and boom. 2 treatments, pain gone. And you know what? It is not returned. Give Dr. Appleton a call and say bye-bye to your pain too. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. You know, you look at what's going on here in this country. All this BS that the Democrats and the media and the Republican establishment have been pushing has been 100% rejected by the American people. And I don't know if you've had this feeling, but I've been watching, mostly online, these liberals, the Views, the MSNBCers, you know, these types of people, even AOC yesterday. And you hear them talking, and they just sound, it's not just that they're wrong and lunatic liberals and warmongers. You can tell when they're speaking that they are out of touch with reality. It's like, you know, I remember once, I had a really stupid idea once that we put into action. Steve went on vacation. And I wanted some time off the air because, you know, and I said, you know, why don't we bring in, there was a couple of old radio, I'm not going to say their names, Pat Hurley, and who was the other one? I can't remember the other one. I'll remember soon. But there were 2 or 3 of these old talk radio hosts that had been off the air for like 10 or 15 years. And they were all right in their time. I probably shouldn't have said Pat Hurley's name. I'm going to hear from him. But that's okay. Hey, how you doing? Long time no hear. Who were the other ones? I can't remember. But there were 2, 3, like, when I say retired, that's a polite way of saying it. They you know. But anyway, they were off the air for 10 years, 15 years. And we brought them in. And I called Steve. He was on vacation. He was in Italy. And I called Steve in Italy. And I said, this is the dumbest idea I've ever had. And it's something we'll never do again. And the reason was, we had these people that came in. They'd not been on the air for 10 years, 15 years, 5 years. And when they went on the air, they were talking about what they were talking about 15 years ago like it was the next day. It's like 15 years ago when they went off the air, they were put in some type of hibernation sleep, and they woke up and came in and just started talking like it was the next day. I am not kidding. I can't remember the specific issues. It's been a long time, you know. And it was just bizarre. And when it happened the first time, it was with Hurley. I'm like, that is so strange. A lot of things are happening. Surprised not talking about it. And then it happened the next day with the next person, and then the third day, and then that was it. I got back on the air and did the rest of the week. And never did that again. And that's what when I heard AOC yesterday, or Jasmine Crockett last week, or these hags on The View, it hasn't been 15 years for them, but it sounds like it, because the things they're talking about are so out of date, right? Amnesty, broken immigration system, white people bad, Trump is a dictator. Everything they're so irrelevant. They're like people from another time. They've lost touch with the pulse of the American people, and they're out of date. Very far behind the times, and no one is interested in what they're saying. It's been completely rejected. All right, we're going to take our top of the hour break. 1 hour down, 2 to go. It is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show. If anybody can remember the other two guys we brought in, so I can throw their names out there too, let me know. We'll be back.
South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation. Here's your oldies forecast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Maroon from the All Year Cooling Weather Center. Today is Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. Right now,
welcome, everyone. If you are new, make sure you subscribe.
Sunny conditions expected throughout the whole day. So make sure you stay warm, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful start to your Tuesday.
Weather brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimate, same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a True Oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Nice and quiet out there on the roadways. Nothing major going on accident-wise. We do have construction going.
Does anyone remember when I brought in those old radio hosts to do some shows? Oh my gosh, it was awful.
This report brought to you by
It was awful. It was many years ago.
Fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find that thing that keeps you up at night. eBay, things people love. That's traffic. I'm Billy Cole.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Catch the PBKC Picks football podcast every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. and catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet and a draft beer for just $25. And get this deal for free by calling.
Yeah, I cannot remember who it was.
2222 extension 199. Watch all the games on over 140 HD TVs and big screens every football Sunday. The Paddock is also your best bet for Super OTB action, and show tickets make great gifts. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
The largest Black Friday Kia sales event ever will be held at one location only. City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Over the last 4 years, hundreds and hundreds of customers have driven from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and from all over South Florida to City Kia in Orlando. City Kia's largest Black
Doomed.
Friday
It was doomed. Didn't you hear Trump was reelected? We've been saved.
City Kia. Select models and terms. Spin the prize wheel with every purchase. Everyone's a winner. PlayStation 5. TVs up to 70 inches. Gift cards up to $500. Black Friday, save thousands. Upside down on your trade, 10, 15,000. City Kia to the rescue. This event will be held at one location only. City Kia of Greater Orlando. Nobody beats a City Kia deal. Nobody. Hurry. It's City Kia's largest Black Friday sale ever. Visit us at citykia.com. City Kia's Black Friday sales event.
Brian Craig here. When it comes time to get my blood work done, I don't have time to spend hours in the doctor's office or waiting hours in one of those big labs. That's why I go to Any Lab Test Now in Boca and Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs for all of my lab work. Their techs are highly skilled professionals And their prices are guaranteed to be the lowest on lab work you'll find anywhere. Appointments aren't necessary. Doctor's orders and prescriptions, they're not needed either. I'm in and out in 15 minutes or less. I get the results the next day in my email box, and they also send it to my doctor. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to Any Lab Test Now of Boca and Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, between Palmetto Park Road and Hillsborough Boulevard on the east side of State Road 7, 441. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Call Any Lab Test Now of Boca at 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs number is 954-906-5983. And don't forget to mention that you heard about them on the radio.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I was just listening to Friendly Mike and his recorded commercial there from Friendly Tire. You know, I recorded that out in front of his tire shop. He's so busy, I couldn't get him to come to the radio station to record. I said, I'll come to you, I'll do it. But anyway, I was talking to Friendly Mike and Friendly Tire yesterday. Friendly Tire will be open Friday and Saturday this week. Okay, closed for Thanksgiving, but open Friday after Thanksgiving, as well as Saturday, as always. But and remember, they do tire repairs, too. So if you need tires, let me give you the number. Friday's a good day. And make sure you tell Friendly Mike and Friendly Tire that I said hello. What is his number? If I do it off the top of my head, I may mistakenly give you his cell phone. Okay, here's the number. Give Friendly Mike a call. He'll give you a quote right over the phone. New tires out the door and on the road as low as $70 a tire. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. Let me play this. This is, President Trump's deportation plan, which the majority of the American people, according to the latest polls, support for a whole bunch of reasons. And it's not because we hate people in other countries. The First Lady is an immigrant. Elon Musk is an immigrant. And those two are closer to Trump than anybody else in different ways, of course. Calm down, Mayor Wells. We'll get to you in just a minute. I hit the play button by accident. I'll play you in a second. That's the soundbite I'm going to play that I'm building up to. But the deportation plan is incredibly popular. And it's not that we don't like immigrants. We feel sorry for them. They're being exploited. They're being brought here as slaves, labor slaves of all kinds. And that 2-year-old little girl yesterday. I mean, this is just sick. It's twisted. These people are being just victimized. The migrants are being victimized by the Democrat Party worse than they're being victimized by the cartels, because the Democrats are the ones bringing them here. So I was talking yesterday about how the Democrats are planning major disobedience protest opposing the deportations. They're already planning their Waco siege locations, okay? Now, this Mayor Wells here, he's a local mayor in California, and like many Californians, he supports the deportation plan. And he was talking about a problem that they have, and this is crazy. This is a problem that he has in his city with his local police when it comes time for Trump to ask local law enforcement to help in the deportations. And, the liberals, you can't use the military. If you can't use the military to repel foreign invaders, what are they for? Ukraine? Thought they were for us first. But there's a lot of reasons why President Trump is going to have to use federal troops and other federal people to do it, because of some of the wackadoodle stuff that's going on in our local communities. Listen to this. This is a mayor in California talking about the problem that he has with his police department helping President Trump with the deportations. Listen.
And name's Bill Wells. I'm the mayor of the city of El Cajon. And there's a lot of talk about sanctuary cities and the sanctuary state of California. I want to make it clear right now that El Cajon is not a sanctuary city. We're going to do everything we can to work with the federal government to help ease this immigration problem, help solve this problem. The problem we're facing in El Cajon is that state law, state of California law, says that if a police officer does his duty that we're asking him to do by complying with the federal government, that police officer can be charged with a felony and lose his pension. So that puts us in a really serious situation because it basically takes frontline police officers and puts them in the middle of this political crisis.
Hold on, guys. I got to start that over because I forgot to hit. Let me start it over. But this is insane. I want to play the whole thing. So if you're a police officer and you help federal authorities enforce federal law, you can go to prison in California? You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like they've got an insurrection going on in California.
Bill Wells, I'm the mayor of the city of El Cajon, and there's a lot of talk about sanctuary cities and the sanctuary state of California. I want to make it clear right now that El Cajon is not a sanctuary city. We're going to do everything we can to work with the federal government to help ease this immigration problem, help solve this problem. The problem we're facing in El Cajon is that state law, state of California law, says that if a police officer does his duty that we're asking him to do by complying with the federal government, that police officer can be charged with a felony and lose his pension. So that puts us in a really serious situation because it basically takes frontline police officers and puts them in the middle of this political crisis, this political argument between the city, the state, and the feds. I just want you to know we're working on this problem. I'm getting legal opinions. I'm reaching out to organizations to help give us legal assistance in fighting the state of California. I'm going to fight the state of California tooth and nail over this. I want you to know that I am going to do everything I can to make El Cajon part of the solution of this horrible immigration problem and not be used by the state of California to circumvent federal law. One of the things that you could do would be to send emails to every assembly member and every state senator in the state of California and the state attorney general, Rob Bonta, and of course the governor, and tell them that you do not want to be part of being a sanctuary state and that you will rise up like the rest of the nation has done and throw these guys out of office if they don't comply.
Yeah, at the voting booth, by the way, is what the mayor's talking about. So this is why Trump has to use the military with the deportations. Can't ask these police officers in California to risk prison and lose their pensions and other benefits because they're helping with the deportations. I wouldn't blame them for not helping. Would you? Look at what's happening in California. And I'll tell you, California, think about how many of the problems in California will evaporate with the completed deportations. There'll be no school overcrowding. I went to, my wife had a procedure done at one of the UCLA hospitals, and she had surgery, and we had to enter through the emergency room entrance. I thought I was in Mexico, let's face it. I mean, it was like Mexico. It was a free clinic for Mexicans. That's what it was. We had to pay. We had to have insurance and co-pays and all that. But this is a big problem. And I wonder, are there other states that have made it illegal for local law enforcement to take part in deportations? I don't know, but California certainly is one. Man, oh man. And, California, any state that does this, and Tom Homan's talking about this, as is Rand Paul and others, this is an insurrection against the federal government. You can't pass a law at the state level overruling federal law. That's it. Now, I know the Democrats tried to do this before. It was called the Civil War. I know they want to form a new confederacy led by Gavin Newsom and this mayor in Colorado and the mayor of Boston, but you're not going to start a new confederacy here. And any official, whether it's a governor or local law enforcement, that obstructs the federal government in these deportations will be taking part in an insurrection against the federal government. Since liberals have spent the last almost 4 years obsessing over insurrectionists, they're about to become insurrectionists. They're telling us they're going to become insurrectionists. All right, callers on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break. After the break, I'll start going back to the phones. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Hello, it's Scott Shannon with a quick reminder that the oldies are back on the radio right after 10 this morning, right here on South Florida's True Oldies Channel. Sloans and their free home security system and free doorbell camera with professional installation offer.
Jesus out.
Yep, finally some great news. How would you like a free doorbell camera? You get a doorbell camera. You get a doorbell.
When it comes to dental work, there's no one better than Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. But don't just take my word for it. This is Richie, the bus driver. He called in on the air to share his experience with Dr. Gupta. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie, Dr. Gupta. I go 139 miles to this guy. I have broken tooth. He fixed it with specimen temporary. It lasted 2 years. He put dentures in my mouth that are a lot cheaper than anybody else. And he's excellent and no pain. I recommend this guy. To me, he's the best ever. So I want to get that out of the way.
Listen to Richie the bus driver. Go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, have all but disappeared. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you about how my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton, has rid me of pain from a knee injury and arthritis pain with his laser away pain treatment. But don't just take my word for it. This is one of our callers who called me live on the radio to tell me how chiropractic physician Dr. Philip Appleton helped him with his laser away pain treatment.
You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Sean. I'm calling from Boca Raton. I want to thank you guys once again. I've listened to this show since the mid-'80s. Thank you for introducing me to Dr. Appleton, Brian and Steve. I went in there last week. I had a knee problem. One session, I feel so much better. I brought my mother there yesterday. She has a problem with her right side or her arm. She's right-handed. She feels better. It's amazing. And for people out there that are dealing with pain, believe me, there is an alternative. Go in there for the free consultation. F-R-E-E, free. You will lose. The only thing you'll lose is the pain that you're dealing with. Do not suffer. Go in there and see Dr. Appleton. The greatest visit of your life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonChiro.com.
Yeah.
Open Monday through Saturday. Appointments not necessary. And walk-ins are welcome. 954-973-0710.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches
Whoop.
on 95.9 FM.
Sorry, guys. Drop the microphone.
Hear us in Boca on 95.3.
Hit it again.
Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM. And anywhere in the world.
Uh-oh.
TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All right. We are back. I'm Brian, the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
This California, it's amazing. I'm hoping that President Trump and the Congress will cut the funds to them if they don't stop this nonsense.
Well, that's what you do. You cut all of their federal funds. They can't function without it.
Yeah, man. So maybe they'll wake up and do a Jack Smith and start doing what they're supposed to do. The Jack Smith, that's another one. That guy thinks he's going to get away with it. He thinks, I let it go now. See what a nice guy is? No, you're still a criminal. You put charges on President Trump that should never have been put on. And hopefully...
Well, I hope to see him in front of a court, in front of a judge at some point.
That would be really fantastic. I'd love to see that, because the whole group that thought they could do anything they want to do, not legal or not, doesn't matter to them. They just did it, and now they have to face the consequences, because there's a new sheriff in town, man, and I think everybody's out to make sure this never happens.
Well, that's how, that if you know President Trump's very smart. This is how you get what you want. All these people care about in government are money. Money, money, money.
The other thing is, another subject is, President Trump wants to put these tariffs on. I know 3 people that are manufacturing things in China. I don't know about Mexico or Canada, but when there's a tariff that was put on, the Chinese government was basically absorbing the tariff. So it wasn't making everything more expensive for us. What it was doing is they were making less money, and the Chinese government was paying for it. So I don't think...
Well, I don't know, but I know this. Mexico, China, Canada, they need us. President Trump talked about raising import taxes on Canada and Mexico by 25%, 10% on China. Canada, I'm glad to hear him call out Canada. Canada, 80% of Canadians live within 150 miles of the U.S. border. And Canada is a massive country, much larger than the United States. 80% of Canadians live within 150 miles of the U.S. border. That's how important we are to Canada. And they're screwing us.
They're all in Florida, too. All you see.
Yeah, I know. In the Speedo bathing suits, oh, they're the worst. Oh, the French Canadians, they're the one. Oh, the French Canadians.
Yeah, man.
Oh, all right, take care. Even the Canadians don't like the French Canadians. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, Barbara.
I think all these mayors and governors forgot that President Trump had the support of all the police unions across the country, with the exception of maybe
Yeah, but if they've made it illegal in California where you can go to prison or lose your pension if you help in deportation, you can't expect the cops to risk that. So
once a federal agent is on the scene, any scene of a crime, it flashes a badge and says, "We taking over."
Oh, you mean nationalize the police of California? Well, here's the thing about the police, okay? Yeah.
No, not just the nationalized police, either federalizing the police. That's a good idea, but just general stuff that happens.
We don't need them. We've got an army. Here's the thing with cops, okay? In Florida, it's a little different because Florida is very Republican. But if you go to these other states, most of the cops are liberal Democrats. Liberals gravitate towards government jobs. I would promise you anything that Derek Chauvin, the guy that, arrested George Floyd, I promise you Chauvin was a Democrat. They're almost all Democrats. They're almost all liberal, and it's even more so in a place like California.
Are you sure?
Yes. Remember during the lockdowns in California, police officers were shutting down restaurants. The police officers in New York were pulling people out of their house because there were too many people in the house. No, most of the cops are liberal Democrats around the country, especially in these Democrat states. Yeah.
But they were under order.
Oh, okay. With the Nuremberg defense. No, I'm telling you.
Simply because they were under orders to do what they did.
You think that you think most cops in these blue states are Republicans? No. Even you're in What do you mean then?
What I'm saying is, police officers, when given orders, local police officers given orders that they follow, they have to follow it or lose their job. When the federal agency, whatever federal agency, comes on the scene, they're in charge. When they say they're in charge, you think these police officers are going to risk being...
No, they... Yeah, in Florida, listen, I know I support law. I support the law and most law enforcement, but I've seen some bad things. In Florida, 80% of people in Florida live within an HOA, a homeowners association. And if you've ever been to an HOA meeting in Florida, there's always police there that the condo commandos or the HOA board hire. And I have seen police officers arrest little old ladies for asking questions at an HOA meeting or a condo board meeting. It's a very common thing.
Without orders. They just don't...
Yeah, they're doing a private detail hired by the HOA board, and the HOA board doesn't like being asked questions from people, so they arrest them. So what we learned during COVID is most police officers are tyrannical Nazis in this country. I saw those cops in New York pulling Jews out of a house. They said there's too many Jews in this house, and they were arresting them. That was crazy. I'm sorry.
The same thing's going to happen. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I just don't think it's going to happen because the consequences of defying federal orders are much more than anything they're going to...
In California, Barbara, California is a weird... since my daughter moved out there, I've gotten a whole new perspective. California, they think they're better than the rest of the country. They're worse than New Yorkers about that. And they think that they're their own country, basically, okay? And they don't recognize the rest of the country. They really don't. They think they're an autonomous place.
It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
No doubt.
The state government they don't have power with the federal government. And every time I've seen the crime scene, when the FBI comes on the scene, they take over.
Yeah, but this is different. If the federal government came in to California, right, and Trump federalizes the police, they would still be their pensions are still held by the state, and Gavin Newsom would take their pensions away from them. They're
powerful.
in California over the pension. Oh yeah. All right.
Get it back.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a lawsuit. But anyway.
All right, I appreciate the call. And you guys here in Florida with the HOAs, I remember I went to, I've gone to my HOA meetings, it's entertainment. It's crazy because people get upset. It's pointless. And I went to one HOA meeting in my community, and I was there with my wife, and a lot of people were there. There was a controversy going on in the community. And the HOA president says that if you speak out of turn and you don't step away from the podium, that you will be arrested. And I'm sitting there with my wife. My wife, by the way, is on an oxygen, right? She's on oxygen 24 hours a day, and she's in a wheelchair. And my wife says they're going to arrest people, and she laughed. And the cop standing next to my wife says, "I'll do it." And then I saw them drag a woman, an old lady, from the podium. And if you go online, you can find videos of this all over. It's like those school board meetings in Northern Virginia, HOA meetings and condo meetings in Florida. Okay? The cops that go to, every time I bring this up, Steve will get a call from a cop friend trying to get me fired or something. I'm sorry. Most cops in this country, especially in these blue states, are liberal. Okay? They're liberal. And they support this crap. That's the way it is. And a lot of them are Nazis when it comes to this. We saw during the lockdowns, arresting people. I go to the beach, and there's a cop threatening to arrest people for walking on the beach in Florida, an open-air place. Why? Because some liberal jerk that's on the city commission here in Palm Beach wants to feel powerful? How many cops in California were going around with code enforcement officers and shutting down restaurants. How many times did you see that stuff? So no, the local police ain't gonna help, man, especially in blue states with the deportations. Most of them are liberal. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour and be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. From the all-year cooling weather center, South Florida's #1 choice for same-day AC service and installation.
Cruiserweight, thank you very much. No, I did not say we should federalize the police. I said those words, but not in the context that it should be done. What I'm saying is you can't trust the police. Most of them are Democrats. Most of them are liberal.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Give thanks. The poker room at PBKC is open every day with exciting cash games, high games, mega value jackpots, and big money tournaments. Bet small and win big with table games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em and three-card poker that are just a $5 minimum every single day. PBKC is also your best bet for Super Bowl TV station for top tracks. Live show tickets make great gifts. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
Well, call me on the air, Daniel. As you take out of context what I said. An idiot. If you're on hold, hang in there.
Or check out our website at nutritionworld.com. Come see us 7 days a week at Nutrition World, Palm Beach Gardens.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel it. At the Bio Station, West Delray, Dr. Mitch Matez, an expert in hormone replacement therapy, is here to help you reclaim your youth. Hormone replacement therapy is all natural and can restore your hormones to where they were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, have more energy,
Yeah.
and even get your sex drive back. And for
Cruiserweight 190. Thank you for that super chat.
can completely stop and reverse the signs and symptoms of menopause. No more mood swings, better sleep, and no more night sweats. Call Dr. Matez for
We saw in 2020 what the police are like.
320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
They enforced all that crap.
Absolutely. We love our Florida sunshine, but a hot house? Definitely not. At All Year, we offer same-day AC service and installation. Need to stay cool? Yes, all year. Need
But
help
most
today?
people that go into government work are liberal, especially in liberal blue states.
All year. We're South Florida's #1 for comfort because our family is serving your family all year. Call us today at 833 all year. That's 833 all year.
This is Mark Laporta, son of Tom Laporta and proud second-generation owner of Laporta Roofing. As a military veteran who served in the Army after 9/11, I've brought the same dedication and discipline to our family business. At LaPorta Roofing, we've been serving our community for nearly 4 decades, and we're committed to continuing that legacy of excellence. Our team specializes in all types of roofing systems, from shingles to tile, slate, metal, and flat roofs. We're the go-to experts for single-family homes, HOA communities, and condo associations. What sets us apart is our unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction. I've personally implemented systems to ensure you receive the best in customer service and workmanship. Don't miss out on our limited time offer for a free roof inspection. Call us now at 954-604-4602 or visit us at laportaroofing.com. Trust the experts who have been protecting homes like yours for generations. Again, that number is 954-604-4602.
Women's professional soccer is here.
Looking for affordable family fun? Come watch South Florida's only professional women's soccer team, Fort Lauderdale United FC. This Sunday, December 1st at 7:30 p.m., Fort Lauderdale United FC takes on Dallas Trinity FC at Beyond Vanguard Field at NSU. Exciting action, great vibes, and memories for the whole family with Fort Lauderdale United FC Soccer.
Get your tickets now at FTL.com.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only to make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors. No matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080.
All right, we're coming back.
954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, celebrating 47 years.
All right, we're back. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to go back to the phones. I want to say this first. I made a comment that Derek Chauvin, the cop from the George Floyd case, probably a Democrat. Minneapolis, man. What do you think? There's a bunch of Republicans running around in Minneapolis? Of course he was. He may not be a Democrat now, but if he was a Republican, believe me, that'd be part of the narrative. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, once, twice. Yes, you're on the air.
Yeah, long time no hear.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, you know this is Jay from Jersey.
Oh, hey, Jay. How you been?
Oh, not good.
Why? America's back. America's back, man.
Oh, boy. I dreaded talking to you, but at the same time, I figured I might as well start my little thing with you now. So when it starts happening, I want to make sure you remember I said this. All you white people are sitting back waiting for all the things that you're talking about, the tariffs and ripping all these Mexicans out of the United States, which I ain't going to even get rid of a few of them. I don't care. Too many of them here. That's beside the point. But y'all all sitting back waiting for Trump to go and take all these Mexicans out. And you're waiting for him, because he promised all of this in his campaign, that he's going to put these tariffs on all these goods coming in. Now, I remember you stated about a month or so ago, how you went to, I think, Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
The food prices, it was outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
And the prices and stuff are high. I will be calling you back. And I want you to remember that I said this. You thought you were paying higher prices. When he hits those other countries with those tariffs, you ain't going to be able to go into Burger King, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because all this stuff that you think that he's going to do is good. Number one, he's not going to start ripping Mexicans out of their house. Y'all think that he is. He promised y'all that. He lied.
Mm.
He told you he's going to hit us with these tariffs first day. You watch. He's going to do that. And all of our prices are going to go high. So I want you to remember that I told you this. Because, see, you have some sort of dream in your head that nut is going to do good. He's not.
Okay. Now, a couple things here. I'll remember. Okay. The thing about the tariffs, they're not going to be an increase in the import taxes. They're going to do what Trump wants. There's a couple things. I'm going to explain it to you. Okay? Just listen for a second. One, there's two things. Trump is only going to raise import taxes on countries that, in a couple of scenarios. One, if their import taxes are out of whack with us, like say, for example, a country has a 50% import tax on goods from the United States. Some have higher than that. Some have 80%. He's going to raise the import tax to what theirs is against us. So what these countries will do to prevent that is they'll lower theirs to 10% or 20% so we don't raise it, okay? That's number one. This other thing that's going on, he said he's going to raise import taxes from Canada and Mexico by 25% if they don't crack down on the illegals that they're funneling into America. Canada and Mexico are going to clamp down on it and stop it because they can't. Their very existence, Canada and Mexico, depends on the United States. So they're going to do what Trump wants. So there's not going to be an increase.
Okay, I'm going to take your word, like we just discussed it, and you say that that's what you're going to do, and that's not going to be no increase, and the prices y'all think you're going to bring all.
But this is what I don't get from you Democrats. This is what I don't get. You know, the Trump tax cuts are set to expire. Trump's going to make them permanent. The Democrats oppose the Trump tax cuts. Why are tax cuts against China and these other foreign countries a bad thing? Are going to cause prices to go up, but increasing taxes on Americans, that's a good thing.
I don't even believe in we should be buying stuff from other countries. Period.
Well, then you're MAGA. You're MAGA. You're MAGA.
Never MAGA.
Yeah. You just don't know. You just don't know it. You're MAGA.
I know what I believe in.
No, you don't.
Mexicans came.
You just hate Whitey. You just hate Whitey.
No, I don't hate white people. I don't like you. I don't like Trump. I don't like the people in your audience that are.
Who's white that you like? Who's your favorite white guy?
All the white. I like white people. Period.
Tell me your favorite white guy that you respect.
What?
A white man that you respect. A white man that you respect.
I respect all white people.
I can tell you black men I respect. I respect Clarence Thomas. I respect Byron Donalds. I respect Ben Carson. I respect, yeah, he's a black man. I respect him.
Thomas, the one on the, what's the name?
The Supreme Court. Supreme Court Justice.
Respect.
I respect Byron Donalds. I respect the great Martin Luther King. I respect Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass. Yeah. John Lewis, the great John Lewis. The great John Lewis.
The problem is you think I'm a racist.
Well, then tell me a white person that you respect. I gave you a long list of living and dead. You can't even think of one. You can't even think of one.
I don't need to think of one because...
You can't think of one, but you can't think of one.
I'm going to not let you break me down and dignify that answer.
Mm-hmm. No. Because you can't. Then name one. Then name one.
I just don't like you.
You just can't think of one.
I like white people.
But you can't think of a name of any that you respect.
Let you break me down and dignify that answer.
All right.
Don't you think don't you think in my life, as long as I live, I can't name a white person?
That you respect. That you respect. That you respect.
Oh my God. I know you and Trump are not one of them.
Yeah, but you can't think of any of you. Okay. All right. Appreciate the call. Boy, is that something? Isn't that something? Oh my goodness. Gee whiz. All right, let me play. If you're on hold, stand by. It never occurred to him. And by the way, John Lewis, guys, if you look up if you don't know who he is, look him up. I was very Democrat and all that stuff, but I was so excited to meet him. I shook his hand and told him I was proud to meet him because he walked with Martin Luther King. And I told him, this is the closest I'll ever get to Martin Luther King. I'm honored to meet you and to shake your hand. And he was, he knew I was a Republican. Let me play this for you. This has got to end. This is one of Kamala's dreamers that Trump wants to deport.
A man for sex assault on a 14-year-old. 20-year-old Jesus Alberto Perea Castillo was arrested for sexual assault on Tuesday. That assault took place back in August at a South Jefferson County home.
Okay. This Venezuelan dreamer of Kamala's raped a 14-year-old little girl. I don't know if she was illegal or not. It doesn't matter. But he raped a 14-year-old little girl. We'll be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
Hi, it's Katie from Will Floor You. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Cortec flooring. If you are looking to freshen up your home, Cortec offers the freshest and most realistic looks of hardwood and stone. That's 100% waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof. The perfect balance of style, softness, and simplicity. The holidays are coming, so come on down and take some samples of all the new floors from Cortec. Whether it's just one room or the entire house, Will Floor You is here to make the process smooth as possible. So how do we do it? We buy in bulk so we can pass on all the discounts to you. So come visit us at one of our locations and have our knowledgeable sales staff walk you through the process and have new floors in no time at all. Top that off with our experienced installation team for the perfect touch. From one neighbor to another, Will Floor You and Cortec are the perfect combination for your next home project. Visit us in Stewart just south of Walmart on US 1 and Jupiter on alternate A1A in Indiantown Road and Will Floor, the letter U, FLA.com. Will Floor You is family owned and operated for over 40 years.
Hi, this is Barry Siegel, and I'd like to invite you to join us at the Siegel Law Group when we do our upcoming Living Trust Workshop. At the workshop, you're going to learn things that can help you protect yourself and your family and give you peace of mind. You'll learn things such as how to avoid probate, how to avoid guardianship, why your estate plan may not work, what is bloodline protection, and how to fund your trust, and much, much more.
The next workshop with Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group is Tuesday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Siegel Law Group's main office in Boca. To reserve your spot, call toll-free 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88. And free shipping on orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com right now and use our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and get the standard MyPillow for just $14.88. The lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
Hi everyone, this is Rocky from Angel Water. Do you have toxins in your water? Yes, you do. You have things like hexavalent chromium, chlorate, ammonia, high amounts of chlorine, and a lot more. This is what you're drinking and bathing in. We at Angel Water can fix this problem. Do you ladies want softer hair so that you don't have to use conditioner anymore? We can give that to you. Do you want softer skin? Do you want your water-based appliances to last longer? We can solve all these problems while at the same time saving you a ton of money. Let me show you how. I, Rocky, will come out to your house personally and test your water for free and make recommendations on what systems that we need to put in to solve whatever issues you have. And if you mention that you heard this on the radio, we will give you a free reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a whole house refiner and provide interest financing. So give Angel Water a call at 561-899-6585. That's Angel Water at 561-899-6585.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is up.
All right, we are back. Call us on hold. Stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Now, that recorded commercial during the break, that's Rocky from Angel Water that I've been telling you about. Sounds like a nice guy, doesn't he? Because he is a nice guy. You hear all those chemicals? That's what was in my water. Barium, radium, I don't know. What are they giving us this stuff? I thought it was supposed to be good to drink. It wasn't. Chlorine. You know, my water, when Rocky tested my water, This one I remember the chlorine the most. These other chemicals, I haven't heard these other chemicals since I was in science class in high school. But my water, my tap water at home had 3 times the amount of chlorine in it as in a public swimming pool. And a public swimming pool, they overload it with chlorine because the public are in there and all the kids are, You ever see those signs? Welcome to our ool. Notice there's no pee in it. You ever see that sign? Exactly. There's so much chlorine in a public pool, and my tap water had 3 times the amount of chlorine as a public pool. Oh my goodness. Call Angel Water. Have Rocky come out to your house and test your water like he tested mine. I was shocked. But now that I have the Angel Water water filtration system in my home, those chemicals, they're all gone now. The Angel Water water filtration system takes out chemicals that other filtration systems don't, including those forever chemicals that the EPA is warning you about. And what he talked about with not needing conditioner, I got to tell you guys, that is just amazing. That first shower, and everyone in my family has had this experience. Me, my wife, my daughter, we all had the same experience. Our hair felt as if it had been conditioned when it wasn't because the water is so clean, so pure. Our skin feels as if it's been moisturized. Before, I guess, we had all those chemicals in our hair and on our skin. And it's all the water in the house, even with your washing machine, for your dishes and clothes. And I remember the first time I unloaded the dishwasher after we ran it with the water from the Angel Water filtration system, and I took a plate out and I felt the plate. I've never felt the plate so clean, ever. Because it doesn't have, those chemicals, I guess, leave residues. The Angel Water system has just cleaned all the water, all those things out of our water. Give them a call. Have Rocky come out and test your water. By the way, they test the water at no charge. And let Rocky show you what you and your family are drinking with, cooking with, and bathing in. All right? 561-899-6585. 561-899-6585. And remember, Angel Water is going to give you a free under-the-sink reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a whole house refiner. I have both of those. 561-899-6585. That's 561-899-6585. And you'll never buy bottled water again. Because you know what? The water you're getting is better than what you're buying bottled water anyway. But it's Fiji water right out of the tap. It's amazing. All right. Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, you're on the air.
Oh, this is Chris from Texas.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, man, I wanted to ask you about this. I don't understand why I don't see, any senator speaking out about the escalation in Ukraine. There's no one talking about, an impeachment or the 25th Amendment. I wanted to know what you think about that.
The 25th Amendment. Why would you, what would the 25th Amendment, first of all, the Senate doesn't do that. But what would the 25th Amendment do if they invoked that?
It would give control to the Congress from what I understand about it.
I don't know, where'd you go to school? No. There's no scenario where the Congress takes over the presidency. That's crazy.
No, then what does the 25th Amendment do then? I don't know.
It makes the vice president the acting president. Kamala Harris is drunk on the beach in Hawaii right now. You want to make her the president?
Well, I feel like somebody's got to do something on that.
Donald Trump was just elected. He's going to be in office in 2 months. Nothing's going to happen. Putin is not going to let World War III break out. What's that beeping on your phone that I keep hearing? Hey, there it went again. What is that?
Oh, sorry, it's my car. It goes off when I'm too close to somebody.
Why are you tailing somebody? Why are you driving so close to people?
It's just traffic, morning traffic.
Okay, all right, take care. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that guy should be driving. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, what's going on, man? It's Dennis in South Carolina.
Hey, Dennis, what's up?
Hey, man, just wanted to call you first of all and tell you Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Second of all, I'm glad you brought up Byron Donald's name. He was in the news yesterday saying that it's unlawful what they've been doing to Trump, and it just should never happen again. You know.
He's right.
And I was just looking on the news. I don't know if you heard or not, but they're mad at Trump for not signing the transition papers. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw the headline. I didn't read the story. I don't know what the significance of that is. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if it's true.
Well, one of the stipulations is you permit the FBI to vet your candidates.
Oh, no, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. What, search for blackmail material? By the way, they're already doing that, don't you know? They're already doing that. You don't think the deep state are looking into all these people? Please.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Just wanted to tell you happy Thanksgiving, man. It's going to be a good one this year. I know your listeners can't see it, but I want that hat you got on.
Oh, my white hat? Yeah. All right. I appreciate. Yeah, I'm wearing a white Make America Great Again. I have one of the largest collections of MAGA hats probably in Florida, and I have them because people send me hats. And I only really I have a bunch of red ones, and I usually just wear the red hats. Today I'm wearing a white Make America Great Again hat, the one Trump wears that has the blue writing on it. And I've got all kinds of MAGA hats, and I've been wearing the red exclusively. And the reason I have is because it's an election year, and I wanted people to see me from a mile away knowing that I'm MAGA. It's a campaign sign for Trump. Now it doesn't matter so much. We won, so I can wear some of my other Make America Great Again and MAGA hats that I haven't been wearing. I've got so many. And, but most of them are red. Most of them are the same one, the red one. But I have some that are different colors, and I'm wearing one today. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. It's Juan from Florida.
Hey, Juan.
Brian.
What's up?
Happy Thanksgiving to you and your...
Thank you.
The one thing that I have not heard from, even that I have not heard from the Trump administration or anybody else, is that these tariffs, the tariffs are good. And here's why. For example, the bulk of our imports come from China. But if they don't want to play ball with it, so then he'll put the tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Okay, it'll rate the goods, the cost of goods coming from those countries. But then there's the next country up. For example, we get a lot of stuff from Vietnam. We get a lot of stuff from Japan. We get a lot of stuff from Germany. Whatever it is that those countries provide, these other countries can provide.
The countries are going to do what they got to do to keep them from going up. If they, so yeah.
They want access to the biggest market and the most developed market in the world, which is us, USA, and
wait,
it does not raise the cost.
First off, this is what I mentioned to Jay from Jersey, and it gave him he had an aneurysm when I asked this question. I said, why are Democrats telling us that raising taxes on China or Mexico is bad for the economy and makes prices go up, but raising taxes on American citizens, that's a good thing. That doesn't affect the price of anything. It makes no sense.
And it won't, because they're going to play ball with the Senate. They don't want to lose their position. They don't want to lose their position as far as doing business with us. Every time Trump says tariffs for you, they quiver and they crumble like a cookie.
When he who has the gold makes the rules, and America, we've got the gold. That's how it works.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Frank.
All right, take care. We used to do mornings on 940 Wins, and it was owned by, Clear Channel, iHeart Radio owned it. And every once in a while, they would have, I don't know how they do it now, this was a while ago, but they used to do something, it was so crappy. This was many years ago. They would have the big executives, like board of director-like executives, would come to town from Texas, and they would want to have a meeting. I remember this was the worst. I got one that's even better, okay? But anybody remember Bud Paxson? He is the founder of the Home Shopping Network, and he owned a bunch of radio stations. This was unbelievable, this guy. This really, he can't be alive anymore. He's got to be dead. But and he had this story. He owned some radio stations, and he had a sponsor that didn't pay his bills. This was the story. I don't know how true this is. But he took the payment in trade. The guy had toasters or something, so he sold the toasters on the air to listeners, and that's how I got the idea for Home Shopping or something. That's what goes to the story. But he wasn't local. But every once in a while, he'd come to Miami for a meeting, and it was always 30-second thing to make some announcement nobody cared about but him. And we were at, and they would require everyone to go to the meeting because they wanted to have a full house for Bud Paxson. Because he owned a bunch of radio stations that he later sold that are now the iHeart stations, most of them. And what they would do is they would schedule the meetings with him on paydays. And you had to go to the meeting to get your check. And I hated it. Because, I worked at, the station was in Miami. I lived in Fort Lauderdale. And we had to be there at 5 in the afternoon during the week in Miami. But we all had to go or you didn't get your paycheck. Right? So we all went. When they control your money, they control you. Okay? So that's a tactic with business people, by the way, with checks and things like this. I've seen it happen in other industries. That's what Trump's doing with the tariffs, the import taxes. The United States is the largest economy in the world, and we're also the #1 consumer economy in the world. We buy all their garbage. So if they don't do business with us, they don't get their paycheck. So they're all going to show up to the meeting. Like I remember the one I went there and he announced he bought a Spanish language station in Miami. Who cares? I had to come down here at 5 in the afternoon during the week to Miami for that. Only if I wanted my paycheck. All right, we'll take our break for the top and be right back. Don't go anywhere.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
Recording the conversation.
What?
I'm pretty sure that kid was recording.
Of course it was recording. The conversation's all over the place. I'm recording it myself here. It doesn't matter.
Let's say that beeping sounded like he stopped it, played it, stopped it, played it.
Yeah.
There's no way that was a car driving. My car has those same things. That's not what it said.
Yeah, he was recording.
He said it was all over the place, and he was like stopping, and waiting for it to.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I'll tell you what he was trying to do when we get back. Okay, I'll tell you that.
You got single next as well.
Okay. Brought to you by All Year Cooling. Enjoy free AC replacement estimates along with same-day service and installation. Visit allyearcooling.com to schedule your service today. And remember, the All Year family is here to serve your family all year long. And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by Kennel Club.
So far, so good. Side street issues, Christy, Margaret Hammer. Got an accident here with light helicopter. Looks like power cables on the ground at Kirk Road at Boys Hill. This report brought to you by eBay. You all got a thing, yes, even you. Love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find that thing that keeps you up at night. eBay, things people love. That's traffic. I'm Billy Combs.
Traffic, a service of the Palm Beach Kennel Club. Catch the PBKC Picks football podcast every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. and catch football Sundays in the Paddock Restaurant with a delicious all-you-can-eat buffet and a draft beer for just $25. And get this deal for free by calling 561-683-2222 extension 199. Watch all the games on over 140 HD TVs and big screens every football Sunday. The Paddock is also your best bet for Super OTB action, and show tickets make great gifts. Go to pbkennelclub.com.
The largest Black Friday Kia sales event ever will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando, just off the Florida Turnpike. Drive a little, save a lot. Over the last 4 years, hundreds and hundreds of customers have driven from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and from all over South Florida to City Kia in Orlando. City Kia's largest Black Friday sales event ever is happening right now. Save up to $15,000 on a new City Kia.
That's me. I'm doing this with my fingers.
Everyone's a winner. PlayStation 5, TVs up to 70 inches, gift cards up to $500. Black Friday, save thousands. Upside down on your trade, 10, 15,000. City Kia to the rescue. This event will be held at one location only, City Kia of Greater Orlando. Nobody beats a City Kia deal. Nobody. Hurry. It's City Kia's largest Black Friday sale ever.
too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road, because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Women's professional soccer is here.
Looking for affordable family fun? Come watch South Florida's only professional women's soccer team, Fort Lauderdale United FC. This Sunday, December 1st at 7:30 p.m., Fort Lauderdale United FC takes on Dallas Trinity FC at Beyond Bankcard Field at NSU. Exciting action, great vibes, and memories for the whole family with Fort Lauderdale United FC Soccer.
Get your tickets now at FTLUTD.com.
Hi, it's Brian Craig. Let me ask you this. Are you planning on retiring in the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, at any point in your life? Or are you already retired? Listen, economically, it's a mess with the stock market ups and downs and inflation out of control. In fact, it's the highest inflation rate in 40 years. You need a plan of action for your retirement plans. You need the advice of a retirement expert who can help you protect your money, guarantee your income, and stop losing money. Joe Thomas is president of Retirement Network Advisors, South Florida's premier retirement experts, and has been for over 20 years. He's seen it all and is a true professional that you can trust. They're family owned and operated. His daughter Jenny works with him. You know Joe and Jenny from right here on True Oldies. He's the host of the Jupiter Joe Money Show, and he's been doing that for over a decade. You need Jupiter Joe's book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Mention my name, Brian Craig, and receive a free copy of his ebook. Go to JupiterJoe.com or call 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. Take advantage of his free phone consultation too. Go to JupiterJoe.com or call 561-743-0999.
Here we go.
It's the Steve Kane Show with...
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Don't forget, by the way, Friendly Tire in Margate is open on Friday after Thanksgiving. All right, so stop in and get tires. Or, he does tire repairs too. New tires as low as $70 a tire out the door and on the road. Remember, Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to mount the tire, bounce the tire, or even dispose of your old tires. But they are open. They're open every Saturday, but he is going to be open the Friday after Thanksgiving this week, all right? 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445. Okay. The seminar callers have really been calling us a lot since Trump won re-election. Sometimes I point them out. Sometimes I don't. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in and what I feel like talking about. The guy that called at the end of the last hour with the beeping going on, okay, he was attempting to do something. He was recording the call, and he was using an app I don't know what app it was, but he was using an app that records phone calls, and the apps that record phone calls do have beeps on them and stuff, so both parties know they're being recorded, because in some states it's illegal to do that. I'm not going to tell you what the law is in Florida, and I don't know what state he was calling in, although I could find out. What he was doing could have been legal or illegal, I don't know. But everything I say on the radio, by the way, is recorded. Mike, our board op, uploads the show every day on the radio station website, TrueOldiesFLA.com, as a podcast. I'm live streaming on YouTube every moment that I'm talking, even during the breaks. And, when you're a conservative, this is just what happens. There's always people trying to jam you up. Did you hear what he was talking about? Someone's got to do. He was trying to get me to say that someone's got to remove people from office. What do you think I'm in? You may be stupid, but... you're not going to fall. I'm not going to fall for any of your reindeer games, okay? But that's what he was doing, and he was trying to get it on tape. And then do what with it? I don't know. Put it on Twitter, Medium. I don't know what he was going to do with it. But that's what he was doing. I knew he was doing it. That's why I asked him. I just didn't really want to go that direction with him. But that's what it's like in your business. I told you guys, Rush Limbaugh. I quote Rush a lot because Rush Limbaugh was a very, very smart guy. Rush Limbaugh said on the air, they're always listening to everything we say, and he wasn't using the royal we. He was talking about all conservatives. So, when you're in this line of work, you got to watch what you say and be very careful and choose your words. Not that I would ever say something like that, but you're not going to trap me. There used to be a guy that some of you will remember. There was a very famous South Florida radio caller, Marty the Watchdog. Does any of you remember Marty the Watchdog? You got to be a very old listener to remember Marty the Watchdog. This guy, he was unbelievable. I don't know if he's living or dead. I haven't heard from Marty the Watchdog in a long time, and it was a name that he earned. And he used to call in radio shows like this one. And this was before Al Gore when you're the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, things happened before the internet existed, and you didn't have apps and stuff. And he would record radio stations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And people used to wonder, how was he doing this? And what he would do is he recorded all these radio stations, and he mostly recorded liberal radio hosts. These were his calls. This guy was brilliant. And what he would do is he would do one of two things. He would either call their show or another show. He would call them out for something. They would deny they said it, and then he would play the tape over the phone. This was just a guy. It wasn't a broadcaster, wasn't a radio guy or anything. He was an auto mechanic. And he would listen to radio stations, talk shows, while he was at work all day working on cars. And what he used to do, this guy, he was a sophisticated guy to do this before all the... Now it's not that hard to do, but back then it was. What he would do is he hooked his stereo. Can you imagine? He hooked his stereo up to his VCR. Okay? Because he told me his secret once. This is how I knew he told me back then. He hooked his stereo up to his VCR, and he had the longest VHS tape you could have, and he recorded it on the worst quality, where he could get, I can't remember how many hours, 12 hours he could record of audio on a VHS tape. So he would listen to radio stations and talk shows while he was at work, and when he would hear something that he thought he could catch somebody on, he would make a note of what time it was. He'd go home and pull it off of the VCR, off the VHS, and put it on a cassette tape, and he would call radio shows. And he was the best. He would catch people in hypocrisies like nobody's business. He got me once or twice, but I was like 19 years old. It wasn't too hard to get me. I was like 20 years old. You could get me much easier than now, unlike that idiot that I was just talking to. But Marty the Watchdog was his name, and it was, oh, I mean, I heard this guy, he would humiliate people on their own shows like you've never heard humiliations before. It was hilarious. And if they hung up on him and didn't let him get it out, he would just call somebody else like me and say, hey, did you hear what so-and-so said? I was like, no, and he'd play it to me or somebody else. It was hilarious. Marty the Watchdog. Anybody remember Marty the Watchdog? Are you still out there, Marty the Watchdog, or are you dead? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? No, here we go. You're on the air. Once, twice. See, I told you, the seminar call is probably the same guy that was, he's ticked off that we figured out he was recording us, you know. It's so obvious. I mean, Mike came in during the break and said he was recording. That's what of course he was. Oh, man. All right. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. The point of that, of the story with Marty, is I don't mind people disagreeing with me. Steve doesn't eat. By the way, Steve's under the weather, okay? Everybody is sick in his house with something, and he's got it. That's why he's not here today and was not here yesterday. I love being challenged by callers, but I miss being challenged by callers that have brains like Marty the Watchdog, as opposed to that idiot. Or Jay from Jersey today. I almost felt bad for Jay from Jersey. He's obviously in a depressed state from everything that's happened with the election. But callers like that guy Marty, they would really challenge. I mean, he would really, the most skilled radio personality would have difficulties with Marty the Watchdog. He was that sophisticated. All right, we'll take our first break of the third hour and be right back.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Great. What do you have for us this Thanksgiving week?
Well, I have a story about a situation. I had a super nice lady come in to our office recently. She had recently lost her husband. And turns out that even though when they had conversations about it, she said that he always said, "Don't worry, I got you covered. Everything was taken care of." But he kept his stuff separate, and appears that he did not take care of everything. So she's left with a home that has a large mortgage on it and a very small Social Security check, and nothing else, because everything else was left through beneficiary designations to his children from a prior.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And so, we're hoping to find something that, an account that may have been left to her, but at this point, it's not looking good. And so it's very upsetting, and it's just really a result of improper planning or lack of planning. And it just really demonstrates the importance of doing the proper planning and making sure that any planning that has been done is reviewed regularly to make sure that it's up to date so that it's going to work for you at the time that you need it to work.
Oh, that's just awful story. But it's common. I mean, unfortunately it's common. You know what I find a lot of times with some of the seniors is a lot of the women typically outlive their husbands so often. And, some women, they're old school. The husband's handled everything and they have no idea what's going on.
That's very important to make sure that that the woman does understand things and has the relationship with the attorney and with the financial advisor and the insurance agent, so they know what's going on, and they should be in those meetings so that there's a bridge between, maybe the husband had his way of let's say investing the assets. So if they have a good financial advisor that understood how he did things, then there's that bridge to the spouse, so that she'll be taken care of after he leaves.
Yeah, and you have a workshop coming up at the beginning of December. Can you tell people a little bit about that and the benefits of going to it?
Yeah, well, we have a workshop next week. We have another one today, actually, in Naples, and our workshops are living trust workshops, and so they're going to cover estate planning. We do talk about long-term care issues and elder law and Medicaid planning in them as well. And by coming, you're going to learn some things that you probably don't know, some important nuances that could make the difference between making your plan work the way that you really want it to work and the way it is now. And by coming, not only will you get an education so that you can make some good decisions for you and your family to protect them and give them peace of mind, but we're also going to give those people who attend a discount certificate just by attending and scheduling their free consultation or free review of their current plan at the shop. They'll be entitled to a discount certificate.
Yeah, and I've been talking to Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group for years, and we talk about you shared things about what you do. There has not been a time that I've gone to one of your workshops that I haven't heard tons of things that I did not know, even though I talk to you all the time about these things. The amount of information you get in these workshops is huge. And, I think one of the big benefits, Barry, that people get is they get to meet you and they get to meet your staff. Because, when this is your family, they're putting in somebody's hands, and you get to see what they're like, how competent they are, how detailed these trusts are. And there's no way you'll come away not informed and hugely impressed with everybody at the Siegel Law Group. So give Attorney Barry Siegel a call. The workshop coming up next week is at the main office in Boca. The number is 855-FLA-3782, 855-FLA-3782, and online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we better talk tomorrow because of later in the week is holiday time. All right, we'll talk tomorrow. All right, we will be right back.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Listen in the Palm Beaches on 95.9 FM, the Treasure Coast on 106.9 FM, hear us in Boca on 95.3 FM, Fort Lauderdale on 96.9 FM, and anywhere in the world at TrueOldiesFLA.com.
All righty, we are back 19 minutes after the hour. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brother Brian.
Yes. Hey, IB, what's up?
Hey, that guy probably was not driving. He was, I know people who talk that way. He was not probably driving a car. He spoke very deliberate, and I could tell by tone he was lying. So you're right to have gone through it more in detail. As for Jay in Jersey, you got to understand the money that you're going to now save will not only cover the interest. I should say the Bidenomics. The increase is going to come down because once Elon get in there with the Dodge plan, saving almost now $3 trillion, and we're going to have stifled the tariffs. Like I say, they're going to come graveling to our feet.
Yep.
The biggest economy, they need us. You got to understand, when I said to you about 2 years ago, Jay in Jersey, I said to you, record the price of what you pay for the product then, and when Trump comes into the president.
Well, yeah, you're right, IB. No, you're right, IB. I appreciate the call. You know, my wife handles all the family finances. Okay, it's a funny thing talking to Barry. I was really thinking about myself because I told my wife the other day. I said if something happened to you, I'd get the electricity shut off, the water. I don't have to even pay the bills. My wife does everything, and I like it that way. But I don't pay attention to the prices of things too much because my wife does all the shopping. The other day, I went to the mall, and I've been wearing Vans since '87, okay? And I've always worn Vans, you know? And now they call it retro, but I've been wearing them since they were modern. But I went to the Vans store to buy some new checkerboard Vans. And checkerboard Vans, they last me, a pair will last me 6 months. And the toe starts to get worn out in one of them, so I'll go buy a new pair. And depending on which ones, they were $65 a pair. Okay, they were $65 a pair. The last time I went to the store and bought a pair of checkerboard Vans was about a year ago. And the reason that is I buy 2 pairs at a time. And I wear them for 6 months. And then when they get worn out, I take the other pair out of the closet and wear them for 6 months. And then once a year, I go to the Vans store. Okay. And the last time I bought them, they were $50 a pair. Okay. And now they're $65 a pair. And I know, hey, what's the big deal? Well, everything's gone up that much. I mean, I don't know what the percentage increase is. I can't do it off the top of my head. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the price of everything. And a lot of it it's a slow burn. But when there's something that I've been buying since '87 and I only buy it once a year, I can see the increase, $15 increase in about a year, right? Maybe a year and a half, but no more than a year and a half. That's then I really noticed it. I mean, that's a big increase. It's a big increase. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. It's Richie.
Hey, Richie, what's up?
I want to bring up what you just said. It's a slow burn. The Democrats have destroyed this economy over the probably the past. Since Bill Clinton, after Bill Clinton, they've really wrecked us. But they've done it so slowly that we haven't noticed. It's little chunks going up and up and up and up and up. When Trump got in the first time, they harassed the hell out of him. We weren't paying much attention to prices at that time either, although gas had come down and everything. But what I'm trying to say is this: if President Trump and his whole staff get to do what they want to do, they will turn this country around. We will see a miracle here. But I'm telling you right now, and it's not a defeatist attitude, everything he's going to try to do, they're going to try to block, even though the people of this country want it.
Listen, I'm telling you guys, listen, we're in a honeymoon period right now. We're high-fiving each other. But the Democrats are planning a resistance that you just don't. I've been talking the last couple days. I've been talking about this. Okay, I promise you, because of this idiot mayor in Colorado, the Democrats are planning to set up Waco-like sieges, giving shelter to illegals in this country. They're going to do it, and they have a fantasy that Tom Homan's going to be out there on a boat. Come out, or we're coming in, and then the whole place burns down like in Waco. Homan and Trump are smarter than that, but the Democrats are planning a major nationwide resistance to that. You think when he discharges the 15,000 transgendered service people, some of them high-ranking officers, they're planning all kinds of stuff. Believe me.
And the media is gonna blast Trump and the administration like they're crazy people destroying the United States. You know, when you give somebody, like, if I gave you an 85-inch television tomorrow, you'd say, "Oh my God," and you'd be looking at it. And then I come a couple days later and I pull it away from you and give you a 40-inch TV. You'd say, "What did you do to me?" You know, in other words, this is what they're going to do. And the media is going to play right into their hands.
They call it civil disobedience. I don't think the media is going to play into their hands. I think the media, the media's, you're talking about like they're almost off the air. MSNBC and The View.
NBC and ABC.
Yes, yeah. They're all, you know. Listen, the major media's already put together the obituaries for a lot of celebrities before they die. They just have to put the end date on there. They're already putting the TV packages together with the trains to Auschwitz and the internment camps and all that, and they just got to edit in the footage of the deportation. Yeah, exactly. Of course they're going to do it.
And the tariffs, by the way, the tariffs. Okay, President Trump is only going to put tariffs on products that we make in the United States. So eventually we're going to have to start producing stuff here right away, because he's not going to put a tariff on something that we don't produce here, but we have to pay more money on it.
The tariff, they keep calling them tariffs, and they're import taxes. The reason they say tariffs is because Democrats don't want to say taxes are bad. Okay, tariffs are import taxes. If a country equalizes their import taxes to ours. Like if China says, okay, 10% import tax, we'll have a 10% import tax. Okay, it's not going to happen because the other countries are going to do what Trump wants them to do. Remember, he tells that story in the rallies. I can't remember what it was, but France wouldn't do something he wanted, and he says, okay, we're going to have a 50% tax on champagne starting tomorrow. Yeah, and they did it. So you know, the United States is the largest economy in the world. We're the number one consumer economy. That is more powerful than our military. Okay, because all that's what you use.
Yeah, but you see, we see things one way. They have a different way of looking at the world. You saw that? I mean, their idea of America is totally different than yours.
Listen, these Democrats think that you can have a penis and be a woman. Don't you understand? So they don't, what the hell do they know what they're talking about? They're all confused.
It's been years of us. It's been years of them destroying this country. It's going to take time to turn it around. But they're going to attack they're going to resist so much on everything. I'm telling you, this is going to.
Yeah, but the latest poll shows the majority of Americans support the deportations. Now they're going to have all. Listen, the conservative media is not stupid. This 2-year-old little girl that we're seeing all over TV, that's not a coincidence that that's out there. Conservative-minded people made that happen. And I told you yesterday that after that girl was a whole line, as far as the eye could see, of 16 and 17-year-old girls by themselves coming here, being sex trafficked, no doubt. That girl, that 2-year-old little girl, it is not a coincidence that all of a sudden there's a 2-year-old little girl that America is shedding tears over. This was done to back Trump.
Real quick, did you see Patrick David yesterday, his interview with the liquor?
No, I did not.
You got to go back tomorrow. When you get home, go over it, because I'm going to tell you something. David Rockefeller was a big pedophile. Name names. You can't believe what you...
Yeah.
Watch that show, you wouldn't believe it. And listen...
I'll believe it. I can most definitely. Listen, I got to run. Appreciate the call. All right, we will be right back.
It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. These forecasts.
I'll be right back, guys.
And now, a true oldies traffic check. Brought to you by the Palm Beach Kennel Club.
Already southbound 95, just past Shawna Road, the right express lane is blocked here. Given an accident, caused a little bit of delay as you pass by. Also, Cresthaven Boulevard, Hamilton, if you make that back. Still have all the power cables. They're driving also. Just remember to save money in a car insurance by checking Allstate first. Most people will probably save a lot of cash right now. So, what are you waiting for?
Hey there, it's Brian. Hold on.
That's traffic under the cones.
Medicare recipients, listen up. Open enrollment is the only time of year you can make changes to your existing Medicare plan. Call Debbie at I Will Advisors, no matter where you're located in the state of Florida, for expert help this open enrollment period. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080. That's 954-753-8080.
This year, your holiday gathering should be unforgettable. The perfect location for your business or family celebration is here. Amrit Ocean Resort is now open on Singer Island, a next-generation luxury wellness resort, merging Eastern principles with Western luxury. Take advantage of holiday specials for events, dining, overnight stays, and spa. Imagine a holiday party with private ocean view dining on the picture-perfect beaches and impressive facilities of Amrit Ocean Resort. Whether you're entertaining 10 people or 200, let Amrit customize a menu and private dining room for your gathering. Hot a chocolate bundle birthday or some winter team building on the beach. Your holiday to remember is waiting at Amrit Ocean Resort. Book today at amritocean.com. That's AMRIT Ocean.com.
Brian Craig here. If you're a homeowner, business owner, or with a homeowners association, your roof is over compromised, you need to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. With a AAA credit rating and bonded up to $10 million, Laporta Contracting doesn't need a large deposit like those other contractors do. Typical deposits of a contractor are 1/3 of the contract. If your job is $30,000, that's a $10,000 deposit. If your job is $300,000, that's $100,000. What are they doing with your money? Typically, It takes 3 to 4 weeks to get a permit, and HOAs, much longer. If they need money for the materials, they don't have credit with the suppliers, and that spells bad news for the homeowner or HOA. Tom Laporta is honest, knowledgeable, and reliable, and he'll never sell you a roof you don't need. Laporta Contracting has been in the roofing and contracting business since 1988, and his services cover the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. Tom Laporta can handle any type of roofing job too. Residential roofing and repair, commercial roofs, schools, municipal buildings, office buildings, emergency repairs. If it's roofing, Tom Laporta can do it. Call Tom Laporta right now on his cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hi everyone.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what I make, but I do okay.
Do you have toxins in your water? Yes, you do. You have things like hexavalent chromium, chlorate, ammonia, high amounts of chlorine, and a lot more. This is what you're drinking and bathing in. We at Angel Water can fix this problem. Do you ladies want softer hair so that you don't have to use conditioner anymore? We can give that to you. Do you want softer skin? Do you want your water-based appliances to last longer? We can solve all these problems while at the same time saving you a ton of money. Let me show you how. I, Rocky, will come out to your house personally and test your water for free and make recommendations on what systems that we need to put in to solve whatever issues you have. And if you mention that you heard this on the radio, we will give you a free reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a whole house refiner and provide no interest financing. So give Angel Water a call at 561-899-6585. That's Angel Water at 561-899-6585.
When you need lab work, don't waste hours and hours waiting at the doctor's office or one of those big labs. Go to any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. The prices are guaranteed to be the lowest you'll find anywhere. No appointment, doctor's order, or prescription is needed, and you're in and out in 15 minutes or less. They offer every lab and blood work your doctor could order. They even have drug testing and STD testing. Take control of your health care and visit any lab test now at Boca and any lab test now at Coral Springs. There's lots of any lab test nows around, but these are the only two advertising on our radio station. So don't use the rest. Only go to any lab test now at Boca.
Well, this is a liberal town, believe it. Even though Mar-a-Lago's down the street, it's a liberal area. As crazy as that is.
Medical Center in Pompano. Numbness, pain, burning, tingling in my hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, and all disappear. Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
Hi, this is Barry Siegel with the Siegel Law Group. I'd like you to join us for our upcoming Living Trust Workshop. This is a free workshop that is educational that can provide you and your family with the answers to your most important questions about how to protect yourself and your family. By coming to this workshop, not only are you getting to join us for free, but you are also...
I wish he could be president in 2028, but he can't.
Just for coming to the workshop and scheduling your free consultation at that time.
The next workshop with Barry Siegel and the Siegel Law Group is Tuesday, December 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Siegel Law Group's main office in Boca. To reserve your
There are no basements in Florida.
855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. Now.
All right, and we are back. It is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I'm Brian. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. And, of course, this is where MAGA comes to talk. And on the line, we have Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot, who handles all of our Steve Kane, Brian Craig, MAGA, Donald Trump cruises. Hey, Ian, good morning. You know, I'll tell you, I'm so excited. Our Trump Victory Cruise leaves March 30th for 7 days out of Fort Lauderdale. I've lost track. I know you've been on more cruises than I have because you're a travel agent, but I've lost track of how many cruises I've been on. I've been going on them since I was 18. And what I learned about cruising that I love so much is how much is included with the cruise passage. It's, you get to stay in which ship are we going on? The Celebrity Ascent, right?
Celebrity Ascent, yep.
The newest ship in the Celebrity fleet. You get to stay in a 5-star hotel this is just, by the way, for the cost of the passage, right? You get to stay in a 5-star hotel for a week, eat in Michelin star quality restaurants for an entire week. All your meals are included. You got the drinks, you got the Wi-Fi. I mean, you've got a great vacation, even if you don't get off at the ship in the ports of call. It's really the best deal when it comes to vacations.
And you don't have to drive.
You don't, just to the port and back home after. That's it. Yeah, the drive there is easy. The drive home, some of our people have headaches after, hangovers and stuff. But, you know, these cruises are great. And this was going to be the best yet because this is our Trump 2025 victory cruise after President Trump won this incredible election. And this looks like it's looking to be our biggest group yet that we've had of MAGA people.
Absolutely. I mean, the party atmosphere is going to be tremendous.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, to go on our cruise, you have to call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot and book through him and him exclusively, okay? This is a private group that Steve Kane and I have. This is our 6th cruise that we've done with our listeners. And we have private events scheduled all week. Okay, private dinners together, activities, our shore excursions are all private. Now, just because you're with our group doesn't mean you have to spend the whole week locked into all of our private events. You can roam free if you want. You know, I got an email from a listener yesterday who's going on the cruise, and they said, you know, these shore excursions, how many of your people go on this shore excursion? Our shore excursions on our ports of call, we have 3 of them are private, and they're filled up with our listeners.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, if anything, you know, I had to take a pass on the one in Curacao, remember?
Yeah, in fact, Ian couldn't go on one of our shore excursions because we had so many people going. And it's really a great time of bonding. And our shore excursions are private. Only members of our group can go on our shore excursions. And our shore excursions are lifetime memories. You will make lifelong friends. I know I have, and I know many of our cruising family have made lifelong friends on these trips. It's really exciting. So we leave March 30th on the Celebrity Ascent out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. Where are we going?
We're going to Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, and St. Martin.
Yeah, and we have private shore excursions at every port of call, including the Catamaran, which is a beautiful sailboat. If you look at the videos of our past cruises, Ian charters a sailboat for just our group, and we set sail around one of our beautiful islands and stop off and go snorkeling at different locations. We just have a great time, and I'm really looking forward to it. This one's going to be extra special because Trump just won re-election.
Yeah, good times are coming.
Yeah, and we go to the Broadway shows together every night. We go to the concerts together, and those of you that have been on our past cruises, Ian has planned some events that we've never done before on board this ship. So you most definitely want to go. I'm going to give you Ian's number. Now, you're going to be working this week and even on Black Friday if people call you, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So listen, call, make your reservation, and join us. We leave March 30th out of Fort Lauderdale. We have a lot of people that are coming from South Florida and the Treasure Coast, but we have a lot of people that fly in from all over America each and every year to join us on these cruises. And every year our cruise family gets bigger and bigger, and it's a great time. Give Ian a call. His number 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. All right, Ian, I'll talk to you soon. All right, take care. Yeah, you know, we started doing these things. You know what had happened is Israel approached us and wanted us to take a listener trip to Israel. And I thought, oh, that'd been interesting. I've never been to the Holy Land. Well, they didn't want to take, I wanted to go to the Stations of the Cross. I want to do all that stuff. That's not where they wanted to take us. I remember the guy, he says, oh, we're going to take you to a bomb shelter on the border of Syria. I'm like, I don't want to go to the border of Syria. And I'm like, And I told Steve, I said, that doesn't sound like a vacation to me. Why don't we take a cruise? Why don't we take a cruise? And Steve Steve's like, I don't know. Do you think people would go? And I said, well, let's do it. So we did, and it worked. And this is our 6th one. It would have been our 8th if it wasn't for the lockdowns and everything a few years ago. But it's going to be a great time. And you guys that are single, you guys should come too. You'll have a great time. All right, back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, Brian, how are you? You know, I caught a short interview. I guess it was the mayor of Denver, and he was being interviewed. He looked real uncomfortable. That's the guy who's going to tell Tom Holman that he can't remove illegals?
I don't think the only person, there are two people that tell Tom Holman what to do. All right, Mrs. Holman and Mr. Trump. Nobody else tells Tom Holman what to do. You know, and I love this. I love this snowflake millennial. I guess he's a millennial mayor. I'll go to jail. Yeah. I'd like to see. Yeah. Yeah.
Room with him, what he says. This guy.
He wouldn't say a word.
The backbone of that guy. He's not gonna be active against Tom Holman.
No. You know, Tom Holman. I don't know how they're going to do it when they start giving sanctuary to the illegals in churches and in buildings and stuff. I don't know how Tom Holman's going to. He'll know what to do though. I have no worries. You know, the guy he said. I was going to play the clip. Maybe I'll play it afterwards because Holman was on Hannity and he was talking about it last night. So maybe I'll play it after the Gold Report. But you know, when that guy said he'd go to jail. Did you see that story yesterday? One of the Menendez brothers is the wife in a relationship with some guy in prison. Did you see this? Yeah. Well, the Menendez brothers almost got out of prison, and they're both married, and they have these wives. And a story came out yesterday. I don't know if it's Lyle or Eric. I don't know, but one of them is a guy's wife in the prison. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So why do you think a guy like that, who's got a wife in the real world, she comes for the visits, you know? He's got a wife because it's dangerous. He's this guy's wife for protection. This mayor in Colorado doesn't look like he would last 3 minutes in the county. I wouldn't either. You know, I wouldn't either.
I definitely wouldn't. So I don't. You know, he's talking about he's a macho guy. This guy's no macho guy.
I know exactly. I know in his skinny pants and all that. I mean, give me a break. I'll go to jail. And I played the clip yesterday. He cited some governor from World War II who stood up against the internment. He's like I'll be like Governor so and so who stood up against the internment of Japanese in World War II. First off,
they should make Denver the first city on the list to go there and just watch this guy collapse.
Well, two things. First off, Roosevelt didn't put Japanese in internment camps. He put Americans in internment camps, okay? So there's a difference in opposing Americans being rounded up than foreign invaders. And the other thing is this. If you remember, they said they're going to call the deportation plan, they're going to call it Operation Aurora, because Aurora, Colorado is where that apartment thing happened, right? So they're going to, it's good, that's Colorado. Colorado's ground zero for them to start the operation. Stephen Miller said that.
They still control that Aurora apartment rental complex?
I haven't heard any updates on it. You know, I haven't heard. I didn't see any stories about the Aurora police. You know, the only thing I know about it, when I was a kid, I was a member of Star Trek: The Official Fan Club, and they were based in Aurora, Colorado, and I used to get stuff all the time from the Star Trek Official Fan Club from Aurora, Colorado. But I don't see the Aurora police running. Did you see those guys? I mean, they weren't even wearing masks. They were fearless. If I was the Aurora police, I wouldn't go in after those Venezuelan guys. They'll kill you.
Yeah, they have a lot of heavy duty weaponry on them, but Tom Holman's group is going to be a different group when they go after these guys. Oh,
don't worry about Tom Holman.
No. Even though I said he's in the new patent of the illegal immigration.
Mm-hmm. All right, I got to run. All right. Okay, it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals look today?
Metals looking good. Giving us wild opportunities to buy and sell with the market swings. Last week we saw gains of over $150 throughout the week, and this week we've got some pullback. Yesterday we saw gold lose $91.60, and that closing out at $2,620.30 after trading in a range of $26.15 to $27.22. That $2,600 seems to be what gold's trying to build a support level at. We'll see if that holds, and if it does, then we could build up higher levels. Right now, it's a great buying opportunity when we get down to the $2,600 number. Yesterday, gold closed down, as I said, $91.60 to $2,624.30. Silver was down $1.05 at $30.25 the ounce. Platinum lost $26 at $9.37, and palladium was down $34 at $9.50. Overnight, we saw gold trading in a range of $26.03 on the low to $26.42 on the high. And right now, we're at $2,630 the ounce. That's up $5.70. Silver's up 25 cents at $30.50 the ounce. Silver seems to be trying to build a base of around $30. Platinum down $7 at $930, and palladium up $16 right now at $976. That's pretty much what.
Is the 90% silver still a good bargain?
Still a great buy, yes.
Yeah. So you guys that are into that, and what about the very much sought after American Silver Eagles?
Silver Eagles are still at pretty fair levels, a little bit higher than they were. There's a lot of demand for them.
Yeah.
We do have them in stock.
You know, remember all the metals, the gold, the silver, the platinum, everything at William Youngerman's is in stock for immediate delivery, which means you walk out with your metals. And William Youngerman will buy back anything that he sells as well. You can reach him. He opens up at 10 a.m. at 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. And you can find both his address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, we are back, and I was talking to Brian about the Venezuelan gang that took over that apartment building in Aurora, and I've been telling you guys, which was amazing, is that footage, those guys coming in with those massive guns and taking over that building, that video footage was taken from one of the residence's doorbell cameras. I was blown away by that. She was at a Trump rally. Took great risk coming public that she was the one that captured it, because she turned a light on about a big problem. But you can see the quality of the doorbell cameras, that it's broadcast quality. They've been running that on television for months now. And, Sloman's is offering you a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You're going to get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, lifetime warranty, a backup battery, plus you'll get a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Call Sloman's right now. Toll free. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. All right, back to the phones. I'm Brian. It's Steve Kane Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's JJ from Mass.
Hey, what's up?
Well, a quick hello to Steve if you're listening. Hope you're feeling better. I was thinking about Jersey Jay when he called today, and people like him, and the discussion you were having with him. I think this is going to be one of those just sort of live and learn for people like Jersey Jay, Renee, and other Democrats who are going to, they're actually living through the history. They're going to see things get better. It's going to be right in front of their face. They're not going to be able to deny it, and nobody's going to be able to lie to them about it. So they're going to really get to see the dichotomy between the lying Democrats and or that, deep state uniparty crap that we've been living through, which we've all sort of figured out, except for the Democrats.
Well, that hardcore militant anti-white racism was running the country, and it's been Jay from Jersey, that line of thinking was rejected by the majority of the voters.
Yeah, the divide and conquer, the divisiveness of everything they can get their hands on from. If they can't, if you can't get that one, what did he say, the chief of staff for Obama, so the guy from Chicago.
Axelrod?
Hey, don't let it,
Rahm Emanuel.
Don't let a, crisis go to waste. And if they don't have enough crisis, they just create more. I mean, like the definition of a woman. I mean, that's just so insane to normal people. But, and I'm also thinking about the military with regard to the illegal alien, the mass deportation. I don't see the military being used, going door to door in any way. They're going to be more, to me, it's logistics, feeding, housing, medical care.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of until they're ready to go home. And I also think that if we take away all the benefits, which is going to happen, and we find and or arrest employers that are hiring these people, that they're going to all be a mass amount of them that want to go home. And if we use sort of a big carrot approach, sort of like, if you leave if you self-deport, if you come in and register and self-deport within the first year, we'll expunge your record and we'll allow you to apply for a visa to come in 2 years from now. You can come and visit for a couple.
Well, you can apply, but you can be denied, yeah.
They got a chance. But if you don't come in the first year, after that, we catch you.
Well, part of it is they're talking about a 10-year ban. It should be permanent, but that 10-year ban is going to be that'll be helpful. Believe me, Trump will get it done. I have no concerns about it. Everyone he's put around him is competent, and they don't care what these liberals say.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. It's going to be very.
Ron DeSantis said yesterday any local law enforcement, including sheriffs, that obstruct the deportation, that he will arrest.
Yep. Yeah, and quite frankly, that's what needs to happen. I mean, they can't, they play by one set of rules when they're in, and then when things change, it's.
When I was a kid, there was a local sheriff, and there was a lot of this. This was in the 80s. There was a lot of drug trafficking going on, and I've mentioned this before. There were many times, like I was around Lake Okeechobee, and you could look up and you'd see planes come over with no numbers and throw things out of the side, and it was a game my dad and I used to play when we were fishing out on Lake Okeechobee. Let's see if we see a drug plane, and it's true. My dad was a fireman, and they got called to the fire of a crashed plane loaded with weed, and all the firefighters and cops were stoned out of their mind putting this fire out. But anyway, the local sheriff committed suicide one day. Now, I was a kid. I didn't read the newspaper. I don't know the details, but I'm sure he was connected to the drug trafficking. It's probably why he committed suicide. Committed suicide in the police station, if I remember correctly. Might be wrong about the location. So what I'm telling you is there's a lot of government officials that they may not be working with drug traffickers, but they're working with human traffickers. This is a modern-day slave trade of illegals coming into this country. Not just sex slavery, but also labor slavery. And there's a lot of people in our government, local law enforcement, and in the federal government that are working with these human traffickers. And that's a...
I mean, the pedophiles, why do bank robbers rob banks? That's where the money is. Why do pedophiles end up working in CPS? Because that's where the children are. And the illegal aliens, Brian, a lot of them that are coming up here, they're coming up on the layaway plan. Okay, they're not putting some of these, a lot of them, quite frankly, they don't have the money. I think they're coming up and, you've got to go work so-and-so the corner, you got to work at the massage parlor, you got to work in the restaurant, you got to work picking this, picking that. And you got to go to this guy, Rothschild.
Well, I was talking earlier on the video with that 2-year-old girl on Outnumbered. They showed that video, and then one after, where there was a whole line of girls, and they were saying, "How old are you? Where are you going?" They were all 16 or 17. What are all these 16 and 17-year-old unaccompanied children going? Brothels and massage parlors.
That little 2-year-old girl shouldn't go to the number. That's Trump. What did Trump do when that stuff happened? They had to get tests. They had to get the DNA test to make sure that they weren't going, because a lot of these kids are being trafficked. They don't know where the hell they sent them someplace, but then they never get.
And you see that little 2-year-old girl. She had a Post-it note with mommy and daddy's phone number. What if she had lost that Post-it note? And I'll tell you something, that Post-it note looked brand new. So when did they give that to her? She didn't come all the way alone.
It did look brand new, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Notice that. Just wrote that and gave it to her just before they got to the friggin' when they got there.
Mm.
It's really tragic what they're doing to the kids.
Well, I hope the media follow up on that. I'd like to know whose number that was. Was it really mommy and daddy, or was it some pedo?
Exactly. Well, a lot of them are pedos, Brian. And even in Child Protective Services, if it's not directly inside Child CPS, it's with the contractors that they use, and or the halfway houses, etc., that they put the kids in.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of sick people out there. And
Why do you think so many why do you think you see so many teachers in the news getting arrested for having sex with students? They're into kids, so they become teachers.
Yep, wherever the kids are, they show up. It's like a moth to the flame.
All right, appreciate the call. All right, take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. Hello, this is Deborah from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Deborah, turn down the volume of whatever you're listening to me on in the back, please.
I'm going to try to talk to it quickly. I just want to thank you, the Brian Craig Show and family, for all you do. Thank you for giving us the truth and sharing. But I just wanted to reach out. I'm a MAGA mom from Pennsylvania. I did do the voting, but I'm concerned now about
Yeah.
and with these new incomers coming in to the States. I just wanted to let you know, if you're willing to share with them a link where they can protect their identity and protect their children.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Protect what children? I don't know.
Where individuals can protect their children of their legal rights. So if they run into any problems, they have 24/7 emergency access to a private licensed investigator, Brian, or 24/7 emergency access to an attorney.
Okay. No, I don't know. I don't know what it is you're talking about. You got DM it to me off the air. DM, don't give it out. I can't give out websites I haven't vetted. But you DM it to me on Twitter.
Okay, I'm going to send it to you.
All right. I'll look at it. Okay. Well, I can't let people give out websites I haven't looked at. It could be porn. I don't know. We had a sponsor once. Their phone number, it was a toll-free number. The last number, if you got it wrong, was a phone sex line. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh. How'd we find that out? Well, our nice listeners informed us of that. All right, listen, that's all the time we have for today. I was ready to keep going. I didn't realize we were approaching 9 o'clock. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I'm Brian. We'll be back here live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Great calls today. Thanks for calling, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And, of course, if you're already subscribed, please like the video. All right? I'll see you next time. Take care.